It should be working. I need to edit the title though. Coaching session, gold 3. Gold 3, neon fracture. There we go. Okay. It's all sorted. We can get on with the session. Okay. I haven't looked at this yet. I think I saw like the first like 10 seconds. So just see how it goes. So first thing with neon, maybe a bit too passive straight away. That's the main thing here. Because I think at this point, like I think we should be like towards gold, platinum area. You kind of want to be a bit more taking the game into your own hands kind of deal. Want to be a lot more self-sufficient. I mean, I said that, but like bronze players, you know, it's all about like lower rank players are all about getting the mechanics down. But at this point, when we're like gold, platinum area, your mechanics should be kind of there and just need like refining and honing. Really, you kind of understand the basic premise, but so we need to be looking at like ways we can like try and take over the game in a lot more of like a game sense type of thing, like understanding the game more, like in decision making. So yeah, I don't really like the passive start from Neon. I do actually kind of like. I don't mind it too much on Fracture on pistol, but I prefer you to do it the way that like some you might see even in like pro games, because there's also something as well. Your map maybe needs to be a bit bigger. Sorry, like a bit smaller. But yeah, in pro games you might even see players playing spawn. Why it's a bit small, isn't it? You might even see players playing spawn. And when players playing spawn, it's because they want to do a fast rotation on Fracture. This is like some of the most effective things to do in solo queue as well in some rounds. The pistol round being one of them. Because on the pistol round, you can just wait for what's happening on the map, and usually people are going to go to the same site they originally attacked at the start. So by playing CT, you're kind of just able to rotate to both sites without any issues, basically. And then, so yeah, I would prefer, like, if you wanted to do that, I would do that. Just playing CT and pistol round. I think that's completely fine, especially in a character like Neon. I think Neon is like the perfect character to do that on, to be honest, because you're very fast rotation. Same with the smokes as well. Any smokes also pretty good doing that as well. Pre-aim was a bit weak there. Yeah, and the alternative is that you go and fight. You go and fight A main or arcade or B main, sorry, or arcade. That's the alternative. I wouldn't stay in like the middle of B site. It's very sentinel like to do that. Ooh. Yeah, so the pre-aim is weak here. Is this the highest quality in it? The pre-aim is weak here because it's at the floor. Like, I think the majority of pre-aims are either going to be here, like around this area, for the head height against the doorway. So like in this position, they're going to be like head height like this. So that's a horrible looking person. Like that, right? So your crosshair is going to be like here-ish. Or you're going to be looking at the back wall, and it's going to be over here. Or like kind of in this general region is probably like good enough, to be honest, most of the time. This is like a bit too low. The only way you really do this is if maybe you heard them. Hang on, let me see if you hear. I don't think you heard them come out. Like, I guess it could be possible because the door opened so recently that they could have just walked out. So I understand that maybe that's the reason why the crosshair's so low, because they could be out and they are out, so it does make sense. But I don't think it's a very good pre-aim still. I think you still pre-aim up here, and then when you don't see anything there, that's when you start looking around. I wouldn't pre-aim close initially. Unlucky first rounds. So this round, this is like a stack round. So you either like stack somewhere or you push somewhere together. So on second round, if you don't win, that's what I'd usually do. Oh, that's not a very good buy, I don't think. Yeah, I wouldn't buy here. Wouldn't buy here. This thing is a bit too much. Buying your util's fine. Buying this is fine. But if you don't want to buy that, you could alternatively buy like a ghost or a bandit or something. How much money do you have? How much is fast line? Is it 150 or 250? It's 250, right? It's gonna be 250. It's 300, my god. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Since the one relay bought, isn't it? I think. So yeah, so fast line 300. So you would have to be, yeah. You could buy a ghost. You wouldn't have fast lane for the next round, but you could buy a ghost. You could also buy a bandit, but it's very risky for your economy because then you would be -1 on the full armor vandal or phantom. Yeah, so you could go ghost alternatively here, but I would not go stinger and I would not go armor. I mean, you could go just armor classic, and you could try and take a gun away from like go play with like Jet or Clove, and then just take their gun when they die. That's also a possibility. But yeah, buying the fall here is not very good. The reason why it's not very good is because it's so early in the game, and there's no real reason why you need to win this round. Like there's no point, right? All you're gonna allow them to do is snowball more early rounds by you tanking your own economy. And this is a risk, right? It's just a big risk to take. Even if it works out, it's still a kind of a risk. Oh, there's something else I want to mention as well. The map. I would make sure that your map is fully visible to you at all times, so that you can see everything that's going on the map. Because right now it's cutting off half somebody like A main, right, and A site. So I don't really like having like a map that's cut off because you can't really see all the info on the map, so it's not really that great. Let me turn this up a bit. Okay, I don't mind the way you're playing it though. I think I would be overall more aggressive here though. Actually, maybe not. Because of Deadlock going into heaven, with them being so fast onto site. So there's like two options. If you want to be faster, you could have decided to like take arcade fully, this area here, and then walked under and then tried to flank them very quickly. Or the alternative is what you've kind of chosen. Because they were so fast onto site, or alternative, well, maybe we were just too slow with this play. You can just walk into heaven, and then when Deadlock dies, you should probably get a kill. Because there's no way to expect two people here. Okay, so we're going to this. I wouldn't do this because okay, well we're getting lucky there because I don't know what that guy's doing. So realistically, this guy should never be here because he's got a Spectre running into a smoke against an eco. Like this guy is making the most horrendous mistake possible. So realistically, we shouldn't be getting this kill, but fair enough, we get a kill. Doesn't really make much sense what he's doing, but we'll take it. You know, not a bad play, not a bad play. They won't be checking the rope, and we have a stinger, so we know that we just, if we just hold down left click close range, they're probably gonna die. So yeah, I like this play. It's a good play. The aim is a bit crazy, but it's okay. We get the win. We get the win to get the kill. It's fun. You can pick up Phantom off stun here. Oh, I mean, my bad. Yeah, this thing is just that broken, isn't it? This thing is just that broken. Yeah, okay. I still think it's a big risk to buy the stinger here, but it just happened to work out this round. So yeah, I mean, well played. Honestly, these two kills, this kill especially was good. The way you played it, and the actual aim for the stinger here is quite good. I would say overall maybe a bit too slow on the combo overall, but like that is so minor that it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is a good round. It's a good round. You could have got look on the mix kill mainly because he was bad, but at the same time, completely fine. I think obviously the better play. I mean, the better play would have been to just go heaven, but yeah, you ended up doing that anyway. And Ryan didn't expect it, even though you got a kill from arcade. You didn't even think you could be close, and then walked out to the rope for some reason. But yeah, it was a good kill anyway. Because to be honest, it's not. Thinking about it as well, like the Rain is not even technically at fault. Well, they are at fault here for doing this, especially getting the knife out. It's crazy. But like they might read that you're going onto site, round the other way, but they're just too fast. If they're slower and they play it slower, then they probably end up killing you. But because that'll just kill you when you come to the rope. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Renov didn't play it very well, but I think you played it very well overall. So we'll take those. I think aim-wise as well, a bit too much. It's a stinger, so like I understand, but like it's a bit too everywhere on the Reina kill. But we'll just see how the other kills go first. Okay, passively. Yeah, to be honest, I like the way Jet's playing it so far, more so than you. Like to me, like this game is all about. Oh yes, I'm not a full buy stinger armor and econ round for fun. It's always a full. It's not always a full save. it's like, so let me go back to that because it's much easier to explain. With this, so like this is fine. Buying Fastline is completely fine because you don't have to use it. And the main idea on the second round is to make sure you have 3.9k, basically 3.9 credits, because that allows you to buy full armor and either a Phantom or a Vandal. So you know, you get to these two things and then you're happy. And obviously buying the Fastlane now just means you have it for this round in case it's useful. But if it's not useful, then you just don't use it, and then you have full util with a Vandal Phantom, or like either heavy armor Vandal Phantom, right? So that's what you want, 3.9k at least here. If you buy util like before that and you have full util and 3.9k, that's like the best case scenario, really. And you can go for the win here, but I would only really go for like the win on the second round if you're like down like 10-2 or something. Like if they're about to win the game and you actually have to win some rounds. When it's the start of the game, like you're not under any pressure to win rounds, right? They're 12 rounds away from winning. So like you don't really need to take control this round. You can play an economy instead. Because you have that luxury, right? You have a lot of time to build up your economy and take a bit more of a safer route to a buy round, basically. Because what happens if you lose that round, right? You're just going to be on another save. And then you're going to be like, you're going to go pistol round, force buy, save, and then you're going to have your first gun round on the fourth round, which is one round later, right? And the biggest thing that you should do on solo queue is try and get any of these two guns, and maybe like this gun, like any of these three guns you want in your hands, basically, in solo queue. These three guns are going to be the ones that win you the game. And obviously this gun is quite good in the second round if you win and that kind of stuff. There's plenty, these three guns, like the main ones that are going to get you elo when you can use these three guns the most in your games. So you're essentially, if you lose, you're basically sacrificing a round that you can't use this gun or can't use this gun. And even then, even in the long haul in the game as well, if you end up like winning the third and then you end up going like a bit of a win streak from the snowball that you hopefully would have gotten, but if you win the fourth especially, then you'll get a snowball effect going on. And then after the fourth, if you're like 2-2, so they've won the first two, then you win the next two, you would be able to buy an operator very quickly after that, which would basically be, you know, really, really strong half. Setting you up for a really strong half. So it's really important to like not buy on the second round unless there's pressure to buy on the second round. So unless it's like super close to ending the game. Yeah, so I want to explain here as well on like not just on Neon really, but like on any character on Fracture. Like Fracture is probably one of the harder maps to understand, but once you kind of understand the basic premise of it, it's pretty simple. And it's basically that attack and defense are flipped. Which sounds crazy because that's not actually what happened, what it looks like, but that's actually like how it plays like. So what I would do on defense, I usually like to take space. So usually the main areas that you want to take space on are going to be B main and A main. They're usually the easiest ones to take space with when you're actually like properly set up for it. So like if you want to go like usually it's a triple up if you want to go take a main. If you're like a double up like this, so there's two of you, you basically just want to pick an area. So you either pick arcade or you pick main, and you just go to one of those and you just play together in one of those. I'm not sure what you think about Bind. Bind just rotated out, but Bind had this very same premise because of the fact that it didn't have a mid. It had A short, B short, and then B long and A long. Like essentially is how it's kind of spread up. Obviously not quite with those names. It's like A showers and B long and then hookah and A short. But it kind of had the same premise because it basically had two lanes that led to the site with no mid, and it's the same premise. So you would just pick a lane especially if on the weak side, if you're the 2 out of the 3, like if you're the 2 and not the 3, you're the weak side. So then if you're on the weak side, you just pick an area to go to, and you just play that. You just double up with it together. And there are certain circumstances where you don't do that, but like for the most part, I would just always do that if you're on the weak side on Fracture. You would just pick, if you're the 2, you just go pick. And I like what Jet's doing. Jet is, in my opinion, playing it quite correct here. Walking it, trying to get at least some sort of kill or some sort of flank or something out of B main. I think that is like the way to play it. And in my opinion, I think that you should just be doubled up with her and then taking this flank. Obviously, it might not have been a flank this round. It could have just been that she instantly saw 3 people and had to run away. That could definitely happen. But like that, at least you're trying something on weak side. It can also make you look like strong side as well, especially because it's double duelist. Because you're 2 duelists that are taking this fight. It can basically trick the enemy team in thinking that there's a third person there. Usually would be the Sova, maybe the Clove. But you might end up tricking the enemy team that there's much more going on B than what's actually going on. And obviously you have a deadlock, so deadlock is pretty strong when they go into the site against deadlock. So if you can, fake the strong side being on here, and then you have 3 people plus deadlock over here, like it's gonna be lights out for the round for them basically. And the thing is, they end up going that way anyway because people just rush anyway. But you might as well, like, you should make the stronger players because you'll just evaporate people. You'll like obliterate people by making the correct plays in the elo. But yeah, maybe not the best of alls. That's okay. I mean, to be honest, it's not bad actually, because if you go and hide somewhere, if you go hide over here and just like kind of like control this area a bit, then when someone like zips over here and then thinks like this is like completely walled off, they'll start like shooting bits and things, or they might walk up. And then if you just like check periodically or just like check on a timing where they shoot, you're just gonna get a free kill in the back. So it's not the end of the world actually. It's actually gonna be quite good wall potentially. But I mean, it's good in the sense that it's blocked it off currently away from the spike. I also like you don't really care about the spike in this situation. I wouldn't have made that much sound, but they're fighting anyway, so it doesn't matter. I didn't realize they were that actively fighting actually. They weren't really actively fighting. They could definitely hear you. They could definitely hear you. That's fun. I mean, they just lost as it happened, so it is what it is. I do like that you kind of like abandon the bomb, because that's like a bit of a bait. Sometimes people like they see the spike on the ground and they have to defend it where it is, which is a very big mistake. A lot of the time, because usually you're not really set up to defend it in that area. Kind of depends on the situation, but a lot of people try and overforce defending the bomb when it goes down. But yeah, that was good. I think it was good that you go and help your teammates in A main. Maybe a bit slower though, giving away less sound cues, but other than that, quite good. Right here as well, I think you can just double up with Jett. I think it's quite awkward because realistically, you should probably be in the triple. You should realistically have a 3-stack here, but Clove is playing CT exclusively, which isn't far, but it's not bad, but like it's not great. It kind of puts you in an awkward position when they're playing like CT, because they're doing it because they can smoke everywhere. But realistically, they shouldn't need that much time to smoke for deadlock, because deadlock is going to be able to stop them in A main or drop very quickly, and then Clove should be able to run over at that point. So realistically, Clove should probably be over with you, and should probably be they either should be supporting you or supporting Jett. In this situation, probably would be Neon actually most of the time. So you would probably get support, and then you can probably go fight Arcade together with Clove, or you could like play with Jett, and then Clove could just go like solo, like jump spot Arcade or something. This is better. Clove is making the right choice here, coming over to B. Well, okay. Yeah, so I actually don't like the angle you're in. And it's not just a Neon thing either. Like, I would prefer you to be a bit more active overall. Like, this is a massive resource you have, and so is this and this. Like, this allows you to take fights a lot more proactively. And so, like, holding angles like this is not always bad, but it's a bit of a waste for, like, what opportunities you can give yourself. The aim itself... to be honest, the aim isn't that bad. I don't think your aim is bad, actually. I mean, that's a good... That's very close. Like, she only just about stopped beyond your bullet. Yeah, so yeah, the reason why this position is not good is because this is like one of the most common angles someone's going to pre-fire or pre-aim when they commit Arcade. So I just wouldn't stand here. It's very, very... I think this... I'm not sure what the stats are. I didn't know the stats at one point for this angle. But I'm pretty sure it's really unfavorable for the defender. Really bad for the defender in this angle. Along with, I think, this corner as well for the defender. These two angles are awful to hold. These two corners. This corner, by the way, is like around the wall. I mean, not like here. Yeah, so I wouldn't stand here. Especially with Neon as well. Like, because you're Neon. I mean, the thing is, it's kind of been nerfed. So the thing that I was going to suggest there has been nerfed, which is jump spotting with Neon. Jump spot with Neon is was so broken. Because you just would be unkillable on the jump spot. So you get info for free. And also as well, a lot of people at any elo sometimes would even try shooting the Neon and usually wouldn't kill her, wouldn't even hit her sometimes, and it would just be free info. And sometimes guns can even make a difference. Like if it's an operator player as well, you can even kind of find that out. That's more so for attack rather than defense. But yeah, it's very broken. So I would even if you're not still playing Neon now because of the nerfs as well. I'm not sure what you decided to play, but if you are still playing Neon, you can still jump spot on Neon. It's only marginally better than normal jump spots though. It's like minuscule, the difference. So it's not unkillable anymore, and it's not I mean, to be fair, normal jump spotting can be almost unkillable, especially for people that like gold area. Yeah, you can probably, if you know how to jump spot, which I can show actually, I can show how to jump spot properly. But Tens always talks about how to jump spot properly. So if you want to learn how to do that, you can just Google probably, or like go on YouTube, Tens jump spot on Valorant or something, and the way he does it is like literally unkillable. If you're good at it. But yeah. So I wouldn't play this angle, and also I would say your movement isn't there. So I can see your movement here. If I go back, so here you shoot, and then you move, but this movement on their screen is basically not movement. This doesn't actually do anything to like help you live. This movement doesn't. It like it's nothing. The bullet would probably still hit if they aim center mass at the head, right? So the main thing here is movement. So when you see someone, what a lot of people's first thought, and to be honest, it kind of depends on how good you are at aiming. Like for instance, like when I was watching Shroud play Valorant, he was like a turret. He could stand still, and he could just shoot people. He could just one tap them in the head, and he would beat them because he was that fast and that accurate, right? But not everyone is Shroud. And a lot of pro players like this as well. There's a lot of pro players that are just very good mechanically, that they don't need to be thinking about movement first. But I think a lot of players would benefit from thinking about movement first. So what I would do if you see someone is not think about just shooting them first, but I would think about potentially moving first as well, especially if you're in an on angle, because this is an on angle, right? So you're going to get pre-aimed. So as soon as they see you, they're going to be thinking about shooting you. Like instantly, they're going to have this ready. So moving at the angle slightly, so just like taking a full step or 1.5 steps, will completely throw off their crosshair, and then you should be able to beat them in that kill. Because it's crucially as well, is that you can do this wrist movement, this flick. You can do this like flick or like aim adjustment while moving. You don't have to do this portion here. Like these like what, 4 frames, 3 frames? These like 3 or 4 frames you can do while moving. There's no reason not to, because you can stop still on this frame and shoot accurately. So you might as well be moving here, just because it's going to throw off the guy's crosshair. Makes the most sense. When you actually you're acting on this frame, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's about 3 frames. It's about 3 frames. So you have 3 frames of movement here, basically. But you can even extend it, to be honest. Isn't it? You can run for the full 1.5 steps and kill him like, I don't know, like 6 frames after you see him. But he'll probably not kill you because you're not there, and he would have to adjust as well. And he'd probably be standing still for that adjustment, and you'd probably just kill him. So yeah, I would think about movement first. I'm going to talk about the drills at the end, and some of the other stuff I can show. But yeah, we'll come back to that. Let me just quickly note it. I'm not sure what notepad's showing. I do have the notepad on though, so I can do that. Okay. We do jump spots and movement in Joule.
Yeah, first you heard your volume.
Hero really to football because everyone like yells for you to give them the ball, and no, like they're all really.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like this angle, but I won't talk about it again. Yeah, I've already talked about some of the options you can have. I mean, it might be that you just, I'm not sure. Do you know why? Like, you maybe, I hate this map. I'm the worst on this map. Also, why you upload it to coaching? Okay, so yeah, Fracture is one of those maps that it's just difficult to understand if you like when you look at the rest of the maps. But yeah, it's literally all about proactivity on defense, and on attack you want to kind of be using all the lanes. Like, so I'll talk about attack when we get to attack, but on defense, yeah, it literally is just about pushing out and trying to find fights. Usually together. You don't want to be doing it solo. You want to be like telling like your initiator to flash or dart or whatever they have. And you want to be either ideally working with the duelist or working with the initiator with a flash or something to then go and take this space, and then it should be really easy, to be honest, because then you kind of want to split the map again. Because right now the split of the map is difficult, right? Because it's like this. So you're getting like pincered basically by everyone. They can just come in from any angle. But if you take space somewhere, so say if you take A main, then you, instead of it being this, it's more like, I guess it's more like this technically, but you're going to take this space eventually if they go into A, right? You're either going to fight in this space or you're going to take this space. So therefore they're going to have, so it's going to be more like this. It's going to be more like a split, like this. So then you can come in from here. In fact, it's going to be better than that, to be fair. It's going to be like this or something, where you can basically come in. I mean, there might be lurks and things, but like you basically come in like this, and it's like a lot more one-dimensional for them. I play better on A. I play better on A when apparently I can't read. I play better on A then because most of the time I peek A main or jiggle peek it for info. Yeah, okay, yeah. So definitely A main is the most intuitive one. This is definitely the most intuitive one. Especially if you play like things like Chamber or Jet. That is like the most. This is like the most intuitive peek, honestly, in the game maybe. But yeah, it's yeah. So I understand that. Yeah. I think as well. B main is also quite maybe like that as well. I see a lot of people do this peak as well. But yeah, these two peaks are pretty good. Arcade is also a good place to take. This is probably the worst place to take on defense because it's just not that useful for attackers. So they just don't really care about this anyway that much. And if you do get a kill here, like it's not going to give you like a massive amount of space. You can like go out and fight the arcade player, but it's not giving you too much. Arcade is good because it kind of gives you the way back into A main, like B main as well. So that makes it a bit stronger on the left side of the map than this part because there's no way back into A basically. So I would just think like you want to be pushing any of these three. So that's what I would kind of recommend if you want to like think about it. Obviously, it's not like super important at this elo because most of the time people aren't going to be able to like fully understand what's actually happening if you like ask for that type of stuff. So it's all about trying to explain it to them or it's simply just trying to figure things out, really, and trial and error with, especially with if you're playing a different agent than Neon as well. It can be a lot of trial and error, like how you play, what angles you take, what places you actually take in general as well. Like for instance, like when I'm playing like Teo, for instance, I don't really take B main because it's not really that good for me. Like I can give a salvo here basically, or I can give a salvo here, but like for the most part, I can't really do anything with the choke. I'm pretty useless there. So I prefer to go and push things like A main because I can actually cut off this choke. And sometimes arcade is good as well because I can cut off, like I can do things like this in this corner, and then they have to be on this side, and then it gives me the chance to walk out. So like there are like I get like two good options on here, but I get a bad option here, so I don't play there. So it's just about understanding like what your agent is good at and where you can push out on this map. I mean it's yeah, it's just all trial and error really. A lot of it can be. And understanding how you play as well as an individual as well. Okay, 1v5. I've never seen you lose these. Okay. The first kill wasn't bad. Is maybe the only thing about the first kill? I think we're a bit, just a bit, it's just a bit, what head was, what it's like, just like unorganized, unorganized. You know what I mean? Like a bit, not like undisciplined or unordered. It's kind of like, I mean, let me go back full speed actually. So that the pre-aim is slightly wrong. So you should be a bit more down, and then you also jiggle a bit too much here. Because in this game, like these types of jiggles don't really do anything. These jiggles don't do much. They're okay, but like they don't do much. I do like that when I shoot you fast before my crosshair is even. Yeah, exactly. I was about to actually point that out. So on this here, you don't really aim very much. You kind of just shoot and then eventually shoot him on the second bullet. So what I would say here is actually very similar to what I said about the other fight. Is that when you're in the movement, just aim in the movement. You can aim in the movement and then you should just aim on his head and then only stop when you're on his head as well. It's like, have you ever heard of the pop-in swing before? Where basically, it's a guy called Pop-in. He actually plays in pro now for MV. And he basically made the swing where you do like a really wide swing. Unironically, that is quite good for learning this technique because what you want to do is you want to be aiming during that time. And the pop-in swing gives you a lot of time. The pop-in swing gives you a lot of time to like aim. So you can just try and aim with the pop-in swing. And you do it in DM as well. I would do it in DM first. Because, and also in DM as well, there's I'll talk about it, but like in DM, don't worry about like if you do like that popping thing stuff, or if you try and like do the aim and shoot things. A lot of people just shoot instantly on DM and insta kill you, and they're like robbing themselves, especially if they're like lower ranks, of like actually improving. So yeah, in DM, like I would like try and practice this type of technique, but I'll talk about that at the end as well. Okay. I think as well, yeah, I think we're just like not very proactive overall. But I actually don't like I understand why, but I also think on other maps as well. I tried that, but I feel also yeah, exactly. Yeah, in DM you just get insta kill, but I mean it is what it is. Like that, those people aren't really doing much. You just gotta shrug it off and do it again. Keep doing it. The popping I mean, or delaying shooting. What do you mean? Do you mean like? Do I mean in DMs? Like in DMs, what I mean is that you aim while you move, right? And if you have to do a pop in swing to then put the crosshair on the head, like if it takes you that long to do it, that's completely fine. It's kind of similar to the pop in swing, basically, is what it looks like, because you haven't put the crosshair on the head yet. But to be honest, I feel like your mechanics are good enough to not actually have to do that. But yeah, but what I'm saying is just you make sure you use your movement to then aim, basically. And I'll talk about that later as well. In the fracture as well, but sorry, in fracture, like it is very important to be aggressive, like on defense, or like to take space on defense, but also on other maps. Like this to me also maybe shows like on other maps, like are you not that proactive either? Because on other maps, it's also quite good to be proactive, and to find information, without using util especially. And you're playing like one of the best agents to do that, right? Like for instance, like if I was playing in this situation, I would probably be either walking out arcade and looking for like some 1v1 in like a 3-1-1. So like it's more like a 2-1-1-1. It's very strange. But I would be more like either looking for information in arcade without trying to die. So I'd be like I'll be jump spotting this corner. But that is kind of dangerous with where it is. So I wouldn't do it for very long. I'd do it like 2 times and then run away, or then walk off, or to go with the jet and go fight A main or B main. Honestly, I've seen streamers take space and fight on defense, but I've had bad experience doing that in the CLO. What do you mean by bad experience? Do you mean like your teammates don't like it, or do you mean that the enemy team just punish you for it? Follow my calls, we're losing rounds. Oh, I mean, I can definitely see that, because the thing is that's important with this is that if you're calling out to like push fracture, if you like say if you wanted to fight somewhere, it might feel like you're losing rounds, but actually it's because your teammates aren't used to those calls. It probably is nothing actually wrong with the actual call itself. It's more that your teammates aren't used to it. They're used to being very inactive on defense, so they don't understand what it means to then be aggressive on defense. Because it doesn't just mean like blindly walking into the team either, or like going flank blindly. Like there's more of like there's more balance to defense on like aggressive defense. Like you shouldn't be being inactive. Like that's one of the biggest things that I see. Do you know what's funny? I even get it in like a Mortal game sometimes, where I get like this player that's like, don't go aggressive on defense, even though it's like a fine round to do it. Like the only times where you don't really go aggressive on defense is when they're on like eco or something, or like you don't really need to be like pushing up for whatever reason. But like there's so many times where people just play defensively for defensive sake, like just because you're on defense. So I think it's kind of crazy. I feel like initiators need to use their abilities correctly for us to fight. I mean, yeah or no, because even though they do need to use it decently well, at the same time, the enemy team aren't going to be very good. They're also going to be like they don't need to be perfectly flashed to be won against. You know what I mean? So I feel like okay, yeah, true. The funny thing is, I'm literally if I just kept playing, I would be, but like it's just insane, with the MMR. I feel so yeah. There might not need to be like perfectly flash just for you to okay, oh man. What train of thought? Yeah, they don't need to be perfectly flash for you to take that fight. I understand though, to be fair, because I imagine that it's going to be quite difficult to also just get people to do it to begin with in lower elos as well, because they'll have the preconceived notion of I need to play safe, it's defense. So I understand that. Okay, with Jed dying, you're on weak side solo now. Clove might rotate over. Looking at it, yeah, they are. Oh, okay. So my first thought when Jet died is the polar opposite to yours, which is yours was to go to safety, but mine was that I'm in a 4v5 and they have all their ults up, and we have like some ults up, like we have, but not like team fight ults is what I would call them, which is funny because I think in Valorant, in like pro level, people do call it team fighting, which is funny in this game, like in the tactical shooter. But yeah, this is like their team fighting's got the stronger, but essentially because they've got mix ult to take site, they've got fade ult to take site, they've got killjoy ult if they're going to use it, but I don't think they would. But yeah, they have more tools to then win the post plant. So what I would do is I would be looking to be more aggressive. I might not even read all this. By the way, I'm not reading that in the moment. I'm actually seeing this beforehand, before the round starts by pressing tab. Like I would take note that they have 5 ults up, and then that would influence my decision later in the fact that I'm going to probably look for a fight. So the reason why I look for a fight in this decision making is because I'm weak side. I'm also I'm a weak side on the site that has the kill on, basically. So Jet's being killed on my weak side. I'm now 1. So I'm 1. It's now 1-1-2, right? Or like this is basically 1-3. Because Clove is like on neither really, but because they're not on yours, it's basically a 3 on this side. That makes sense. So what I would say is I would go aggressive here because it's a 4v5. If I don't look for anything here, then it's going to be over anyway. Basically, the info I'm getting from 5 ults and my Jet dying. But yeah, true, I guess. But yeah, so the way to like salvage the round isn't to just take a 4v5 retake. It's going to be to try and get 2 kills and then make it a 3v3 retake and hope that you also kill someone like Mix, or Fade, or something like that, right? So you kill someone with big ults, so then the other three have more chance. And you can also even go for more. Like you can go for more. You can even go for 1. Even just going for 1 and then going into a 4v4 retake is a lot more doable than a 4v5 retake against all these ults. So I would go for that. So what I would do is I would either go into arcade and try and look for a kill on someone that's splitting arcade, because this could be a split, right? So I might just walk in and try and fight someone arcade. I could also try and walk in here. If I'm pretty sure they're not going arcade, I can do one of 2 things. I can either go this way and go under and then look for a fast flank. With like just full walk underneath with a fast flank, I'm likely to get a kill. Or I can go this way, and just play heaven and just hope that I can get a kill if someone lazily checks heaven, basically, and they don't use any util for it. That can also work, and it can also be a massive thorn in their side that they have to kind of get rid of me before they plant as well. So they would have to like use a lot of resources to take this. It can alleviate your teammates, give them a lot more time to retake, to like get into position to retake, or even start the retake. If you're living for that long. Something else that's also interesting as well, is if you want to like walk under, you can also wait a tiny bit as well on the actual walk itself. Wait for your teammates to get into position and then flank as they retake as well. But that's a lot more high level, but that can potentially be a thing as well if you have the awareness to do that. So yeah, I wouldn't be going passively here. And the simple answer is that it's 4v5. And they have a lot more going on in the post plant. And one thing as well that can also help to kind of cement this as well is that when the enemy plants, or when anyone plants, so the bomb usually counts, so the spike, there's no visual indicator for the spike basically, but the spike basically equals +1. So what +1 means is +1 person. So it basically means that they have a 6th player when they plant the spike. So that basically means that you're going to be a 4v6. Because the bomb, it has its own pressure. Like that's how you lose the round, and you need to interact with the bomb to win the round. So it basically becomes a 6th person that can add pressure to the round. So it is very important to make sure they don't get into this situation, basically a 4v6. So getting that extra 2. So say if you killed 2 people, then even though and you died, say it would be a 3v3 +1, but this is a lot more doable, and this is also, and getting 2 kills is a lot more reasonable than getting 3 kills and then making it actually even. Or even then, if you get 3 kills, they might even get the bomb down at that point, if not already down. So it can be really crazy if you do get kills here, because it can just keep snowballing. They used kill drilled. Not what I would have expected them to use. I literally said that they were going to use Mix Ult or Fade Ult and not Kill Drill, but they used Kill Drill. Okay. That's a good kill. To be honest, Rain is trolling, but that's a good kill. Good kill, good kill. Good scan by Sova. They're not realizing that the Killjoy ult is there. Oh, and he's not smoked anymore. Mix's smokes are really short, by the way. They're like 12 seconds, I think, or 13 seconds. They're really, not 12, they're 13, I think. 13.5. 14.5? Oh, yeah. Can't quite remember. He hasn't been out for very long, that's my excuse. It's a good try. Let me see this fire again. That's fine, it's fine. They use Fade Ult as well. Don't tell me these Mix Ult as well. That's a good try at the flick, by the way. I like that. That's a good try. Because the thing is that you are still clearing this corner. So this actually basically has to be a flick. Because you can't really... You can kind of separate it. But you probably can, actually. Because to be fair, if they're not on this angle, they're probably not going to be there. So I guess this is like another pre-aim that you can do. But I don't mind it too much. Because like even the way that Jet was playing that at the end, she was kind of on this part of the angle, so I understand that fully. That it could just be... Yeah, I think that's fine. The kill there is good as well. I think movement-wise, though, is a bit messy. And it wasn't. It's fine. It was the previous kill, maybe, that was messy. I know, it was that, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm misreading the shooting arrow drop. Good try. Yeah, so it was the pre-aim here that killed you against Jet. Or the crosshair placement. So the crosshair placement is bad here because she's going to come out of this side of the smoke. She's coming down the stairs. There's no way that she jumps through the front of the smoke. That'd be insane. So yeah, there's just the pre-aim. The pre-aim should be here. They're in here. It's kind of harder on stairs as well because they can... The further they swing left, the more your crosshair has to go down. So on stairs, it can be really difficult to pre-aim people. So yeah, so you've got to kind of really guess the distance to really get the pre-aim correct on stairs. But you know, it's kind of required in that situation because you've got no other great option.
Maybe there is something wrong with me because I had no idea Killjoy was.
One enemy remaining.
That's a good boy, Sova. Wait, Sova wins. Oh, he doesn't win. Oh, that's so unlucky. We're looking for a neon ult, I guess. We drop. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Maybe not for the overall economy, but you know, it's fine. It's fine for your economy, so that's completely fine. The overall economy doesn't really matter, I don't think, at this point. I mean, it doesn't even matter in... It doesn't really even matter in, like, higher reloads, to be honest. It only really matters about your solo... Excuse me, your solo economy, really. I bet say a bit too early on the... So something that's, like, really interesting with Neon, there's a little tech, is that you have a free slide with high gear. You have that slide with high gear, and then you get a slide refresh on your ult. So you can slide and ult at the same time, and then have another slide afterwards, and it can be like really hard to kill you. So right here, you could have been really hard to kill. I mean, you were hard to kill anyway because it's Neon. I'm not sure what your sense is, but your sense may be a bit too high. Judging by this, Mace movement's a bit all over the place. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is one or two things, right? Either your sense is too high, or your confidence is like low in the fights, or like very instinctual in the fights is what I'd say, but less so confidence based. So that would mean like you would definitely need to go into like games with a lot more improvement type mindset. 0.32, 0.32, 800. That's not that fast. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's probably to do with taking fights. So what I'll do is I'll go into solo queue games. I play 0.26. I played 0.2. No, 0.26 is not high. 0.67. Okay. All right. No, it's I would say the highest you can go is 0.42 maybe, or 0.46. I'm trying to think what the DPI is, but I think it's at least in CS. Yeah, it won't be the same in CS. It won't be the same for CS. I don't know. I think it's about 0.5 maybe is like the highest, but 0.46 seems like the number I remember. But yeah, maybe Google will give you a different answer. But yeah, I'd say 0.2 is definitely the lower bound. That's for sure. That's the slowest you can go. But yeah, I'd say 0. You're completely fine on sense. The point anyway. So yeah, right here, this is like confidence. This is like very instinctive in the fight rather than very like it's very instinctive in the fight rather than very like logical or like theory based in the fight, if that makes sense. Like you haven't done this before is what I mean. Like you're relying on the instinct to kill the guy is what I'm trying to say. So this is like a reps type of situation. So it's about going into the game and like being very confident that you know you can take the fight and then taking fights, and then usually at the start you're not going to take the fights very well and then you're going to lose them. And it's about disassociation with like aura. So like I think it's better to go back towards the door and slide vertically on him. Might be overcompensating on the slide too. I mean, maybe that's true. But even then, like in my experience when I've played Neon, very rarely, but like it doesn't really feel like you're moving that fast to you. But it's very fast on their screen, but it's not that fast to you. What it feels like to me anyway. But yeah, what I would say is that it's about disassociation. So we get messed because he ran at me. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, because he's swung right. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected him to swing right either. To be honest, that's kind of insane. But yeah, what I would say is like you're putting maybe a lot of pressure on yourself to get individual kills. What I would say is that it's about going into games with the mindset that you don't really care about the RR you're going to lose or win. It's more about being better as a player. So it's just a bit of a mindset shift. Because you think you may be putting too much pressure on you to like individually perform when it's all about individual improvement rather than individual performance. If that makes sense. Classic Reyna swings a 3 enemy. Honestly, that is exactly how it goes for Reynas. I actually did a video on that, by the way. It's a very long time ago now, I think. Let me quickly check if I can get it. I wonder. I can't remember what it's called, unfortunately. I have to go on my actual videos probably. Let's see if I can find it with just typing in mindset. No, I cannot. Oh my god, I thought 1.67. That's so cringe. Okay. I'll look for it at the end. I'll look for it at the end. Don't waste the time.
120 on jet, 120 on jet.
I think we can be a bit more mobile there as well.
120 on jet.
So like with the neon ult, you don't ever have to stand still. So right here, also the pre-aim is kind of crazy. I think the pre-aim realistically is over here, and the fact that Killjoy is here doesn't really matter. The pre-aim is definitely here. Or you can go on this wall and pre-aim the corner. Like I've just drew on my second screen. Or you can pre-aim over here, like on the corner, and be on this wall if that makes sense. You just play Jet and Neon again. Honestly, for real. I need to start playing them again because I need to actually get back to Immortal. And I can't play Teo. I can't play Teo and I can't play Sova. I can play Teo, but not Sova. I can't play Sova in Solo Queue. I've got like I need to actually carry them. Oops. I need to actually carry them and not play that type of stuff. Yeah, so I wouldn't stand still too much on Neon here. Yeah, but maybe we'll play Neon now actually, thinking about it, but yeah, so I wouldn't stand still here. Standing still isn't the greatest here because you're playing Neon with the ult, so you can just run around completely broken. And yeah, the pathing is maybe a bit strange here. I wouldn't go behind the wall with Neon ult because the reason why you don't really want to be playing like that, I mean, it depends. It really depends on the situation, but I really wouldn't play with walls like this as much because the thing with this is that the laser is really strong with constant beam. So you really want to be in the vision of them basically the entire time. And you have the luxury of being able to run full speed so that they really can't really shoot you very easily. And the way they're going to win is if they get a random headshot usually, or if they're very strong aiming, really strong aim-wise. But if you're going to like bob in and out of the wall, as soon as you go behind the wall, you're essentially letting off the pressure for them, and then they can set up a pre-aim when you peek again, and then the laser is way worse. The only reason why you would go behind the wall is to set up a slide. But like, yeah, like otherwise you would just be wanting to keep the laser on them as much as possible, because they already under so much pressure by just the fact you're just running at them with laser. The thing is, it's not. The thing is, it's not even Diamond Ascendant. I'm literally getting like X Immortals Ascendant 3s every game while I'm Diamond 3 because of MMR loss, because I didn't play. I literally didn't play but got placed, so I've lost my MMR from Immortal, and I'm playing against the same players I played against back then. Like, how is that fair? I need to climb like 300 elo with the same players I play against when I get there. Like, how insane is that? It's so freaking dumb. Like, my bad for not playing the game. I guess it is my bad. That's punishing me. That's punishing me for not playing the game. It's actually insane. The stun was a bit off, but I like the idea anyway. So the idea of the stun is really good because what you can do is, you know the guy's sight, and you know the guy's close because you just saw him, right? Did you see him? Yeah, you did. Okay, I was gonna say I was tripping. Yeah, so you just see him, so you just bounce it here, and then it bounces here or here. I'm not quite sure. It probably bounces here actually. And then you can help with the jet kill on sight. But yeah, it was a good try anyway. Then you win this. Wait, surely. Wait, I've got 1 HP. Oh, 1 HP. Good kill on the mix though. This kill was a bit scary, but you did manage to get it. The thing is, you pathed well here. You actually pathed quite well. The only thing is that you should be going for headshots with the Neon ult, because the Neon, like, it's so broken with headshots. But you were kind of off here. You go back. Yeah, it's definitely pressure. It's definitely pressure to get the kill. You're definitely feeling the pressure to get the kills. That's what I feel like. But yeah, the pathing is good here. The reason why the pathing is good, because if you went this way, same thing happens with the pillar, in that you don't really have like the full laser on them the entire time, and then you put yourself in a situation where they can pre-aim you easy when you go like dip behind the pillar. So yeah, you pathed correctly there. It's just that you opened yourself up to more angles. Maybe you could have done a bit more less wide, but other than that, it's completely fine. This should be horrible to try and win. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this should be. Wait, she headshot you as well. My god. Yeah, you honestly, yeah, you played it well. You played it well overall, I think, with the ult. It's just like some minor things with like that very specific to Neon ult, but like other than that, I think you played it fine. I mean, and the stun, to be fair, but the stun had, you had the right idea, just misclick. You know, it happens. It's a mechanical mistake, not a brain mistake. Mechanical mistakes are more fine because they're mechanical mistakes. You just fix them next time. And also, they just happen anyway. I thought if I swing on 1 HP, maybe he misses. Yeah, that is the best play. Yeah. There's no way you're standing still anyway, because of Neon ult as well. You don't want to be standing still. But yeah, swinging is better there. Just being more movement focused when you're on 1 HP is always better. Because you're always trying to live more so than kill him almost. But yeah. So yeah, once again, we're kind of just on site. Don't really like playing on site like this when we're playing Neon. Be a bit more proactive on Fracture as well. You don't really have to be proactive on every map either. Like, but I do think like a level of proactivity is good on every map. Like, if you just jump spot something at the start of the round or something and then run back, at least play it like a phase. You know, like I'll talk about phases as well, maybe. Your preempts are good there. Preempts are good there. He's just in an off angle. Preempts are good off angle. You see him, just don't shoot fast enough. That's completely fine. So what I could talk about here as well is phases. So phases is something that is like pretty important to like understand a bit the macro of the game, but it's also really important with the micro of the game when you're like learning the game, in that you can think about the game as phases. So you can have like a phase 1, where you'll do like, let me do one. Phase 1 equals like jump spot main or something, and then you can do phase 2. That's the R, not the P. And you can do phase 2, which like is run back. My god, my writing with the mouse is awful. Run back to set position, right? So you can do phase 1, jump spot a main to get info. It doesn't even have to be a jump spot, by the way. It can literally just be you play it in an advanced position to just hear info. If they start running at the start of the round or something, then you get info for free. And that's also, I mean, actually, I won't talk about that because that's at the scope of the video anyway. It's the scope of the stream or the coaching session anyway, because that's like initiator stuff. But phase 2, you would run back to like a set position because then you've got the info and then you can run back to a set position. This might change. The set part is only because we're learning it. So if you have different info, so say if you've got the info that they're rushing, you probably won't go back to a set position if it's in a really bad position for the rush. So that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, so we just set while we're learning it, but like obviously you can change on the fly. And then phase 2 will be a lot more. Sorry, phase 3 onwards will be like very much more reactive. So by that I mean you basically are going to be reacting to their aggression, and then you're going to be reacting to on phase 4. Kind of just right like a human. Phase 4, you're going to be kind of like it's more about reaction to post plant or like extended. I would call it like extended play, but like you would react to like post. I'll just say post just to simplify it. So like you would go through the phases of the round. These are like the phases of the round. So then you would like have like a plan for like all of these individual phases basically. And they don't have to be good plans either. That's the thing that gets me because I'm someone that like if it's not perfect I don't want to do it. But realistically, if you have it, like you should just make it like even a bad plan is better than no plan. So just try and make plans that like fit what you want to do in the round. Try and think about it in both phase, like what you're aiming to do, and like try and fit these phases into what you want to do. So say if you also as well, like if that can also be like what gun you buy as well. So like maybe you want to buy a shotgun that round because it like fits the play you want to do. So therefore the spot you set will be favorable to the shotgun. The way you react, the way you play post will be favorable to the shotgun. So all that kind of stuff, right, will change. But like, yeah, so it's just all about thinking about the game in like phases. Oh, rounds, sorry, in phases. I can't undo all of that, unfortunately. I have to use the eraser. But yeah, it's just about thinking about the game in phases, or the round in phases, and trying to come up with game plans that like allow you to kind of play like that, basically. That can help with like this type of stuff where you're basically just defaulting onto the middle of a site. And not really playing very proactive. But yeah, that stuff can kind of help. Because then it can kind of help you break down the round in that if you don't want to be aggressive overall, you can still have that phase 1 where you're aggressive. Or like aggressive in quotation marks. Like you're getting info by playing in an advanced position, but you're not actually playing aggressive. You're not actually giving the chance for a kill. Because you're purposely not letting that happen. So like that type of stuff is really important, and the way to understand that realistically is with the phase stuff. So to like actually have a comprehensive understanding of it, in my opinion, at least. You get the kill on Reyna. This is kind of scary from more so, I would say more so from Reyna's perspective, because what I would do here, because realistically the pre-aim is in the corner. So if I was you, I would just be pre-aiming this corner through the smoke. And funnily enough, she's actually in an off angle. She's actually out the corner, but you know, that's where I would have aimed. I've got the highlighter on. That's where I would have aimed about. Would have aimed a bit here, like head height, in the corner. So I would have had to adjust a bit more, but yeah, that's where the pre-aim is. So I'd just be careful with like where you're pre-aiming in the smokes. I also wouldn't really be facing smokes like this that much either, just because this is like a ping battle. This is like ping faster PC battle. This is because when the smoke goes down, it's like who reacts first, and sometimes it can just be that you're technically like, you know, the internet's not as fast or computer's not as fast. Can sometimes happen. So yeah, be careful doing that. I'd be careful doing that. Once again, we're in this position. I'm not going to talk about it again, but yeah, this is the phase stuff and being able to break down the round and be more aggressive in the first phase. And if you want to play like this, you can play like this in like the third phase, right? Or the second phase. Oh, running headshot. Yeah, okay. I would take your time more on the jet kill. So this, to me, this is like the biggest illustration of you like panicking or like some sort of like adrenaline or like pressure to perform. This is like the biggest. This is like the biggest indicator to me, because this guy is not looking at you at all. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, apparently. Sorry, YouTube viewers. But yeah, what I'm saying is that you kind of react to this person very quickly, like instantly, when they're not even looking at you. I think the stream died for a sec. Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking. I wouldn't say anything useful anyway. Okay, it's fun. It's fun. I'm not sure when it died. Hopefully it wouldn't like. But I still have the original recording anyway. So it's pretty fine. As far as that concerned, yeah. But YouTube also stopped as well. So, I don't know why. That's never happened. Unlucky. Just 15 seconds. Okay, nothing useful. So yeah, this is just like adrenaline. This is like the biggest indicator that you're like pressuring yourself to perform, because you just insta try and kill the guy without aiming. You just insta flick, insta try and shoot, and the guy's not even looking at you. Like, he would be dead. Like, realistically, if you like took your time to get the kill, just like because he's not looking at you, he would be dead. Like here, he would be dead. You would just kill him. He'd be dead there, and you would save yourself a lot of time. And you'll be able to make more of a play. You'll be able to like one tap the guy, fast lane, and then help yourself on site with stun somewhere. But because you've taken so much time to kill him, like, you don't really have much time to reposition before the trades come in. So you gotta be careful. But even then, like, you manage to get it in a way, and then Mix kind of whiffs. And then here, I mean, did you hear him just about? And then this is a hell of a running headshot. That is. Crazy running headshot. Type of that's a crazy one. I've seen some crazy ones though. I saw one the other day on TikTok. The guy was on the edge of the guy's screen, and it like shot him like up into heaven on Lotus on B. And I was like, that's just like crazy. But yeah, some of them can go crazy. But yeah, obviously, it's important to like have like, better gunfire hygiene here, and not run and shoot, but we'll take him. But yeah, I would try and be a bit more consistent with your gunfights. It'll feel so much better. It'll feel so much better if you like do the actual one tap, it's funny. It's quite funny to not do it. I like this round so far. Being a lot more proactive, looking for a flank. So like in solo queue and like in like ranked games, being like proactive is like 10 times better than being inactive, because you want to try and carry the game. If you wanted to try to carry the game, you don't just go AFK on site. You like actually try and find ways to win. And that doesn't always mean be aggressive either. It doesn't always mean be aggressive. It just means try and take what's free, or like try and like make the correct, like the better plays if they're like strong for like map control and that kind of thing. Because a lot of people will just like walk back into you and you'll get free kills. Just try and take what's yours, like, essentially, on the map. Especially on Fracture. Fracture is that map where you actually do want to be aggressive on defense. So you got to try and take all the space away and split the map, so then it's not a flank fest. And you're the one flanking. Okay, so you know where one guy is. It's likely that the guy is also heaven. Yeah, okay, there you go. So the reason why I knew that is because I knew that Mix was the planter. And ain't no way is he running to heaven like that if the other guy is not heaven. Ain't no way. The guy has to be heaven if he's running knife air like that. That is insane. But that's like difficult read though, to be fair. But like, and it's not even right either. Not completely. Like, if the guy's doing that, like, he could just be stupid, and then Jet could be main. It's just a odd read. So good trade by Jet, not Jet, by Clove. I actually don't mind your positioning too much. What I would say though is because Clove tapped. Clove tapped really late though. Was that the first tap? Did you tap? Maybe you should tap. I think you should tap here actually. Yeah, you should tap there. So the reason why you tap there is because it's just a lot of pressure, right? And it's smoked off. So if someone's gonna push it and kill you, then Clove is gonna kill him. So I think it's definitely a tap here. I don't think you stick. That's for sure. You definitely tap. And then you take this position, I think, and it's a lot stronger, but... Good trade by Clove. Clove might win. Clove does win. I like this round as well. I prefer this to being on site. Like, this is like very similar to what I would say a phase 1 would actually look like, where you're kind of like trying to get info in arcade. Like, maybe you jump spot this once, or like you're just looking for like someone running, basically. trying to hear someone run, give away some info for free. That's kind of like how a lot of phase ones, especially for duelists, look like. And honestly, for any player in solo queue, in my opinion, is going to look like just trying to get as much info as you can without using util is usually how it looks. Unlucky. I think I would have preferred you to just push arcade, to be honest. As soon as Jet died, but I think you were kind of on the way out anyway. Yeah, you were kind of. Yeah, I think pushing arcade was probably better there when Jet died. Just because then you would take the space again. So like, you can like see it as like a revolving door. Like if they are taking this space and looking to go into B, you can just go back into arcade, and then obviously we can talk about what I talked about before with choosing where you want to go. But it's like a revolving door. You push it back out and then draw it up for a play. I just get so discouraged when I try and take space alone, pushing something and dying, like Jet peeking B main every round and mostly losing. But I should probably just fight with Jet. Yeah, I think fighting with Jet is probably the play, but she has an operator as well, so like it's quite awkward sometimes. You like stand quite a real risk, especially with Jets, to block them in their dash and then they just die. And then that's not going to be great for the team morale. So you want to be careful here because you don't really provide much when she's using an operator. Like an agent like Sova would probably would. And like Fade or like Initiators would probably provide a bit more. So I don't actually hate that you don't like playing with her that much because you're also like more of like a self-sufficient agent. So it kind of does make sense that you're looking for something else because also Jet is a playing operator. And in this game, in like a game like CS, the operator, like the AWP, needs to be supported a lot more. Where in this game, because we have the movement abilities like Jet Dash and Chamber TP, they don't need to be supported because as soon as they take the shot, they're gone. So you don't really need to support them and get them out of places or put them into play. Well, you do need to put them into places, but that's like pro level gameplay. But yeah, in this game, you don't really need to be supporting her if she's got an AWP. It's basically just like an uninitiated will help with like revealing people or that kind of thing. Or like stopping people from walking up to her with a stun or something. Like that's what it would be. You can even potentially do that, but it's kind of awkward with relay bolt, to be fair. So I wouldn't really think about it if she's got an AWP. But if not, if it's just rifle, if you're both rifling, I would do it. Because then you're kind of like more similar gameplay. And then you can like kind of actually trade with the AWP. Or trade with the guy that had the Vandal. With the Jet. So yeah, I prefer like running to arcade here. But it was just a lurk that killed her, to be honest, it looks like. So kind of unlucky. Yeah, this is hard. Oh. This Raider, by the way, is absolutely insane. The way they play is awful. It's so funny. They just run into every smoke, and they just run out of every smoke. They smoke CT, and the Raiders walking out the smoke. Absolutely diabolical gameplay. It's quite funny. That was good composure in that fight. A lot of people would just start like crouch spraying like straight up. I mean, you did kind of crouch spray there, but not fully. Like you like kind of did it to like dodge the bullets and like mix up the fight a bit. So I kind of like the way you fought that. That was good composure as well to then stand back up and one tap. Like that. That's good. That's kind of like how I would imagine you would fight if you were a bit more confident. So that's a good fight. That's a good sign as well. That's a good sign. So it's when you're confident, you've got it in you to like take those extended fights and win them, and then not be like discouraged by the start of the fight. A good try. Good try. The actual like going into sight like that, I mean, like it's like a potluck, you know, like that. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that stuff with the slide, but like it's just a gamble no matter which way. Like realistically, I can't believe Mix is actually there. To be honest, it's pretty crazy. But I guess you could check it, but I wouldn't have checked it either. Here it is gambled it sight and drop. Yeah, I think I would probably guess it would be sight and A main. And the ways that you would deal with it, like you can do it like the way you've done it, but I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have slid right there either. If anything, I would have been looking to slide like close here like this and try and take the fight on the guy's sight. And with the A main guy not being able to quite see me. That's like one way you could do it. Probably the best way to do this, to retake on A in general, is to take door first and then take through A main. Because that way they're getting pincered. And it's a lot easier when you're retaking A to do that. When it's a 1v2, this is less good, but it is still good. Because it's going to push the guy that has the most way to like delay the bomb. And the most way, like, if you get to a point where you 1v1 this guy and he's playing A main, then you're not going to really win this because he can delay forever and not actually fight you the entire time, realistically. So it is really good to fight this way, just simply because if you do get to the point where you can defuse, this option doesn't exist unless they play very smart, which, you know, very unlikely. Even in like high level games, they don't play that smart, where they actually like reflank around, so then they can play this position while you defuse again. Like no one ever does that. So even though it's usually like the way to beat that anyway, but and also it's very hard as well when it's not a 1v1, and usually it's not 1v1 at that point either. So it's a very rare situation. But yeah, I think you played it fine. I think I would just think about playing through door first, playing through door more. I also wouldn't predict drop in post plant situations either. I think post plant situations drop is very unlikely. But obviously, I don't know. Maybe that's more likely in gold or like gold plat. Maybe it is more likely in gold plat. I don't know. But usually they're not going to be drop. They're going to be towards where they can fight the bomb. Because obviously the drop doesn't really have any good positions where you can plant and then it's good for drop. Even the place, even this position, even this corner, which is visible from drop, isn't necessarily good for drop. Isn't like why you would play drop. Like you would do this if it was like 1-1-1, and then it's planted in like the middle of sight. This plant is hard to get as well, but you would maybe do that. And this guy would probably be the one fighting first because it's the worst angle out of the three. Although he'd be fighting first, to be fair. But like this guy will not be fighting first. This guy will be fighting first. Because this is only one angle. Like there's one place where they can see it. So then it's like a really easy like tap and kill, right? So drop is like really unlikely. The long-winded version of saying that drop is unlikely. Okay. Oh, that's unlucky. Oh. Wait, who was that? Is that Rainer? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like don't really like the inactivity again, but especially when you've got ult as well. I feel like with ult you can look for a bit more than just hiding on site, and then because you might be in a retake sim and then that's gonna be really sad. When you've got your ult, you want to be more like, you want to use it, you know? I mean, you kind of just got unlucky there. I don't know, actually. You're probably not unlucky because they probably just knew you were ad ult and just going to wait it out. And Rainer's 1v9 totally. Ending. You almost go fade. Yeah, so I would just be more proactive here. It doesn't even have to be B main. Like, it could be arcade or something. Arcade's actually quite a good one because there's like barely any ways to, like, for them to like dodge you. Because you see all this open space. But there's only like some ways that like they can actually dodge you in this position. Like if you're running at them like this, they've got nowhere to run. So you can just run at them with your ult. Oh, the writing's coming back. So I would probably do something like that. It was a good try anyway. Ghost, yeah, that's fine. I don't mind going fast lane or relay bolt. It kind of depends on what I think will happen in the round. Relay bolt's not bad for A main, to be honest, because you can do quite good stuns in A main, and you can do quite good stuns on A site. So I like a stun here, but I think fast lane is also completely fine, depending on like what you want to try and do with it, basically. Like for instance, like if you want to go out sand or something, you can do. I can't remember what is the lineup. There's a lineup here. I can't remember. I think actually, never mind. Scratch that, because that lineup is like really crazy. What you can do is you can open the door and then you can look really high here and then get a lineup like this, so the fast lane goes like that, and then you can take sand. That's a pretty crazy lineup, but I wouldn't necessarily do it in solo queue. I go ghost bolt on defense and ghost lane on attack. Yeah, that's completely fine as well. That's also a fun way to do it. Yeah, that's completely fine. I think bolt is also fine on attack on some certain places. Like I think I think I would go bolt generally here, but so the lineup I was talking about, by the way, is you open the door and then there's no one. Like if you have it smoked, you can look out the doorway and then you can go over this roof and you can use the fast lane and it like covers like this. So then you can like smoke essentially for your team, and then you can also like split up these two areas. Pretty cool smoke. Pretty cool fast lane to know. But I wouldn't necessarily do it, to be honest. It's not that useful. Oh, do we not have anti-flank? Oh, we've got deadlock, so it's not exactly anti-flank we've got. Yeah, unlucky. Yeah, this is This is like classic kind of behavior where everyone goes into one place and then no one wants to go through the smoke, or no one wants to try and go through and fight.
Yeah, maybe don't comment.
It's a bit difficult as well, to be fair, in that situation. I think kind of the right decision to try and split them, to, like salvage it. Yeah, I think realistically you either like, because you've got no map control. When you like five in the main like this, everywhere on the map is gone, and you can expect someone to flank, especially on something like pistol. You can definitely expect a flank. So it's either you go in or you fight flank. And if you fight flank, get the kill, and one person starts running this way, these people will all start panicking. Some of them will start to rotate and things. So it's like, and obviously if you take sight, then you do still have the flank to worry about, but you've taken sight and you get the bomb down, and then you can play post plant positions where this flanker might not have the best of times without the people on site. So it kind of depends. It kind of depends on the situation. But I wouldn't just I wouldn't stand still. Like, this, the worst thing you can do is stay in A main. At this point. That felt like a very fast flank though. It was quite fast flank. But the thing is, you can expect that in pistol. So the reason why you might expect it in pistol is for the same reason why I was telling you that you could play in CT on defense, is because when people know that a hit is happening on pistol, they will probably be fairly committed. So then, for instance, when you were playing like defense and you were in CT as Neon, that way you could just run straight to that site, and it's probably a decent enough gamble. And the same thing happens on other places on defense as well. If they go A, and your teammates hear that, and they say they're going A, they're rushing A, then the B player will just start flanking, and in 3 seconds into the round. So that's the reason why that happens. So I just blamed it on Deadlock playing Sheriff and Pistol. I mean, fair enough, but Deadlock doesn't really do much in anti-flank anyway, unfortunately. You kind of have to play very differently when you've got Deadlock. But I think Deadlock is really strong when like the team overall knows what to do with Deadlock. When the overall team doesn't know what to do with Deadlock, Deadlock becomes very bad, or like very hard to play with. But I think, well, I'd say very hard to play. It's definitely difficult to play with. It's just better to play other Sentinels at that point, just because your teammates don't understand how to play with Deadlock. Because Deadlock is very much like especially on attack. Attack can be really difficult to actually get value with on Deadlock. You kind of need to know how to like take incremental parts of space, like take a B main, then hold, and then re-attack somewhere, and like it becomes a lot more convoluted and difficult when you have a Deadlock. For Deadlock's gameplay to be good, so usually it's just better to go Chamber or like Cypher or Killjoy or something. Usually Chamber or Cypher. Okay, not bad. Not bad so far. Fast lane's fine. You can maybe do a bit more of an aggressive fast lane. Oh, actually, maybe not. Nah, actually, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, you got the right fast lane. I'm not sure if I would check that, and I think I would then go and straight to heaven. Jet's kind of got the right idea, going to arcade, taking arcade. Because now, the reason why that's good is because if you just don't go up here, or if you don't go up here fully, timings can happen with the flank on the other side. So you can just play like this, and now the line is much more like this, rather than like this. That makes sense. So the line of like fighting, basically. So it's a bit better for space, and for like just general like crosshair placement and all that kind of thing. There is still the flank option that happens, because this can be walked past. So it's kind of scary. Realistically, Deadlock should be over here, but also Deadlock is probably the best ult to farm. So you want them to have the spike, so it's kind of awkward. You probably want, maybe you want Sova playing main, realistically. Sova should probably be main, to be fair. Maybe Clove as well. Clove's like half and half.
Oh my god.
Like, you want them to be kind of main.
Spectrum, my brother.
Probably fine. It is winnable. Probably flank, not flank. Oh my god, that ADH demon. Actually going off. Yeah, okay, we're deathballing again. Deathballing is fine. It's not good, but I mean, it happens at every elo. And the main thing is with deathballing like this, like to play five in one place, is that you can't be hesitant. You actually need to make very strong decisions quite quickly. That's like the only problem with this, and that happens a lot in solo queue because people don't lurk very much, and when they do lurk, it's usually better than 5 stack. Even if it's Reina lurking, even if it's a Reina lurks are usually better than 5 stacking. I'll be wrong. To be honest, Reina lurks are usually quite decent anyway, overall. But people really complain about Reina lurks, but Reina lurks are like, well, what do you expect the Reina to do? You know what I mean? Especially if it's like set up free on the right map. Let me go back. I was too busy yapping. This is fine. I think what you did is fine, aside from... Oh no, I don't think it's fine. I think maybe just the only thing is just not being ready for the heaven kill. You can even pause here, you know. You can pause here and then relay bolt. And that also works. Because it's smoked off, so and you've also fast laned, so I think pausing on the stairs and relay bolting is probably the play. To just relay bolt the first part so you can actually run in. So it's not even if they're there or not. By the way, this isn't even retrospect. Wait, what has happened? This isn't even retrospect either. Wait, how did I go forward so quick? This isn't even retrospect because you would basically stand here and then you would relay bolt like this, and it would cover like this angle like this, so no one could be there. They would have to be in this part of heaven, regardless if they're there or not. So this could be good for zoning, it might not be, but you should always do that, I think, in this situation. Because then you're just pushing them back, you're taking more space. I've still got some pen on the thing. But yeah, it's good because you just take more space, guaranteed, basically. With the Spectre as well, like you're pushing them away, and then it's making it life way harder for them. They've got way less space to work with. You're taking the corner away from them, basically. It's pretty good. Pretty good to relay bolt that, I think. We go light shields. Vandal. Light shields are generally better than full shield, by the way, most of them. I feel like I'm either too passive or too aggressive onto site. I don't really think that was too aggressive. I think that was, I mean, let me go back really quick and see where your teammates were. But I don't think you were that aggressive. No, you were fine. You were fine. I don't think you were overly aggressive. I think here is more like you were like lost in the sauce. Like you were doing, like you felt like you had to be like, I guess that is technically too aggressive, but not realistically. Like it is the right play to do this. It's just not to do it that quickly. It's like you're more like you're on a timer than aggressive. Because the right play is definitely to relay bolt this from the wall. So I feel like you had the right play. You were equally aggressive as you should be, but I think that you just have to play it a bit slower in your brain, and just slow down a tiny second just so you can do this. And I don't really count that as aggression, overly aggressive, because it's still the right. You're still basically the same amount of aggression. It's just you're a bit more thought out with the aggression. It's like calculated aggression versus uncalculated aggression, basically. So I would say that you're much more. I would say you're uncalculatingly aggressive there. If that's a word, uncalculatingly, is that a word? But yeah, you were basically not thinking about your aggression as well, as you probably should have been. But the aggression was completely fine. And I think the passiveness on defense is definitely there. I think maybe on attack with some of the main stuff, but like that's a symptom of like every player. Like maybe on like when you like 5 stacking a main, like an A main when on the pistol, that was maybe a bit too passive. But it also means that you kind of have to be ready with your team to go in through the smoke there and that kind of thing. Or like to go into sand. But like I think you should just run into sand. I think you should have run into sand on pistol. But that's okay. I won't talk about pistol now. But yeah, once again, completely fine. Got the first kill, went in. It's fun that you're 1 HP as well. Like generally now you want to be in like gun saving mode, I would say. Like now you want to be trying to think about living a lot more. Just because you know it's better for your economy to just keep onto as many vandals as possible for your whole team. So I would be like less aggressive now, kind of let your teammates take some of the more initial fights. But then when if it starts to get to a point where it's looking close, that's when you should be the trade. That's when you should be the one dying, and then someone else should trade you on higher HP. So it's a fine line to walk, but yeah, your teammates are kind of trolling. I'll be honest, fighting so early. Empty. That's a hard kill. Yeah. Deadlock and Sova, not very strong positions. Deadlock should be fighting CT, and Sova should not be in that corner. And this kill is hard. You can hear it run up though, so like it's not super difficult to land this. But it is difficult because as soon as you miss, you're just dead. So I would say that you probably want to be playing around this corner. Bear in mind, you still have the time advantage because it's still planted. So you can just sit behind this corner and play a bit less aggressive. It's hard. The thing is, it's hard when you're low HP to kind of bait them because you kind of want to be trying to like take shots through the wall essentially and like be like super like basically feigning aggression against them, like trying to fight them half fight them on this corner, so then you can like bait them to waste more time. Or alternatively, to be fair, the option is because of where it's planted. No, kind of. It really depends if Clove gets a kill early. Does Clove get the Fade kill? No. If Fade got that Clave kill, I can't speak. If Fade got that Clave kill, that's what I just said. If Clove gets that Fade kill, then you could just walk around with the Clove and then fight this guy. It is hard though because Jet has this control, but it's either way it's hard. So I think that's the better play. But yeah, I think even Clove on 1 HP don't peek. I tried to call it. Yeah, that's fine. The thing is like I think that once Deadlock dies, I don't think you can leave. I think you have to be like kind of tied to your Sova. But I think Sova kind of trolls it as well, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's just wide swinging, just holding CT like a maniac. Absolute maniac, that guy. Yeah, the best thing is that if he was here, you'd be able to play with him to an extent. You might actually have to play with him because of also Jet dying. You might actually have to look for a swing on Canteen. Or something like that. I mean, Canteen is walled off, so maybe not actually. Yeah, you just play it close and hope that Sova doesn't kill himself too quickly. Yeah, I think you do have to kind of play a bit more with Sova there anyway. Probably swing off of him dying. Simply because everyone was dying too quick and you don't want to be the last one alive with 24 HP. So it can be a bit of a fine, it can be like a tightrope to walk across a bit in those sort of situations because you don't want to give the gun when it's a numbers advantage to you. But then when people start trolling, then you've kind of got to think, hang on, I actually kind of need to be one of the ones that maybe actually has to die here. So then we have more chance in like a 1v1 if the person's on full HP versus me on 24. So like, it's kind of like that, right? But yeah. What the frick was that? My god. Going on the background. Wait, my Clover's won that? My Clover's kind of going off. Clover's going to them. Oh, my coffee's cold. Unlucky. Just dropping everything. All the glass in the sink is gone. It's all smashed in the sink. Unlucky. Okay. Not. I don't think it's bad. It's sorry, I don't think this boy is bad, is it? It's not bad. No, it's perfect. Perfect boy. IMO. I mean, fast lane is arguably better than relay bolt there, but did you even use it from last round? Nope. Nope. That's fine. No choice to be made there. Anyway. Oh, that's scary. That's insane. Yeah. So realistically here. You basically just said, like, Sova, take the wheel. And just hoping that guy dies. I think as soon as you see him here, because I think you probably wrapped at this point, right? Yeah, you do. So you wrapped at this point. This is a slide. This is definitely a slide. Slide to, like, here or something. Or, like, even sideways, like, full sideways, because that's going to be super hard for the Jet to kill. Yeah, just running is insane. But then you, like, slide right, and it kind of makes her doubly not kill you, but she should have killed you anyway, realistically. Oh well. I think you played it fine overall, but that is kind of scary. I'm trying to think, like, yeah, it definitely is the right play. You slide right. You would slide right, and then arguably you'd relay bolt low on the ground, like low on the wall here. And then it would, like, bounce this way and hit the ground here. That's the reason you would, like, arc it, so then it would, like, hit here and then arc downward slightly, so it would go here. That's the ball you're sliding. It's hard to do, but I think, well, it's not really that hard to do if you're used to Neon. But yeah, I think that's definitely the play. Although this just throws off the crosshair and works, so I mean, you're gonna get away with it because Jet's not very good, and neither is Reyna with the missed AWP shots. Like, I think if you against better players here, both of you are dead. Like, you and Sova are both dead, and no chance of trade. I don't like the spray. I don't like this spray. The reason why I don't like this spray, don't worry about my sorry. Here, operator shot. I already know I'm sliding on that guy, but go wait. Yeah, that was a bit crazy. Bit crazy. Is it lucky that Reyna and Jet both kind of suck? But I think that here, this is also a bit too crazy. So the reason why this is crazy, if you had a Phantom, I would think slightly differently. So the reason why I think it's different with the Phantom here is because the Phantom doesn't have traces. So they don't see where you're spamming from. And you're on 47 HP. And you know this guy is an operator as well. And you probably know there's a third guy here. Like another guy here, basically. Out of these three. So, like, it's likely that you should probably die here by spamming this smoke. Because Reyna also... I mean, Reyna might commit to site, to be fair. Reyna's probably commit to site with the AWP, right? Yeah, probably. So, yeah, but maybe it's not as risky as originally you thought it was going to be. Because I thought that Reyna might actually decide to run back with the operator. Mainly because... I don't know, no, she probably wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. She would commit to site. I don't think that actually was a reason why I would think that, actually. Looking back. Yeah, she would definitely go site. So yeah, it's less risky than I originally thought it was going to be. But still, it still is quite risky to spray through a smoke on 47 HP with the Vandal. Or like basically a non-phantom weapon. But yeah, it's a bit risky, but oh well. Worked out, it's fine. But I would think about it in the future a lot more. In the way that you spray through spokes without a Phantom. The walkaway is fine. You can still run now. They can't hear you unless they're like really close hand, which is super unlikely. So you can run here. Also, to be fair, they can hear you in the corner of heaven as well if you pass a bit wide. Fake smoke on B, I kind of like it. I would say though, yeah, the fake smoke on B is not too bad actually. You can maybe bait someone into my main. But even then, like, I probably would try and find the kill before you use any util. Because if you, like, in my opinion, like, if you guys walked up to B and maybe left deadlock A, and then you, like, place that smoke, try and get a kill on B, 100% everyone in A is rotating. If you and Clove try and get a kill on B, you're also playing Neon. So, you're on lows, which is kind of unlucky, but you also are playing Neon. So it means that if you live, you can just run here faster than they can rotate anyway. And then Deadlock should be able to walk out while you're fighting this, or like after you've been spotted, because that'll all run away. And then Deadlock should get a free sight with you running back with high gear. And then Clove can even look for something like a late flank, or they can look for across the rope and go to drop, or go, so not that way, go to drop, and fight like that. So like it depends on like the situation a lot there, but I think that would be the better play, but it's kind of maybe hard to see. Hard to see. It's a very Neon specific thing actually as well. With Neon, like it's kind of hard to justify it, because there's no without Neon, there's no person running back to the deadlock, so it's kind of hard to justify that. But yeah, I think it would work in this situation. It's just in general as well. I think it's better to try and get a kill before the smoke happens on B, or to play with the smoke is what I'm trying to say with the Neon and the Clove. Because then it's a lot more cells like sold basically. So then non-Neon Deadlock should be able to get on site. So instead it's a trade, it's actually a good trade. You should be able to get the plan down. As long as Clove doesn't sacrifice himself while the bomb is going down, that's not a very good smoke. Okay. Ooh. Clove would like lost in the source. Oh, that's crazy. Oh my god, why didn't they shoot? Why didn't Clove shoot anyone? That's a kill. That's a kill. He's moving with an operator. And she's stuck and crouched. That's 2 kills. That's a one tap. No, wait, one tap second one. But the one tap and the spray, bro. Oh, spray then one tap. Or just one tap in general. It doesn't really matter. Just kill him. That's a kill. That's 2 kills. Yeah, the smoke is bad. That they did. And yeah, they're kind of lost in the source. But yeah, your trade is good. Your trade is good. So the reason why your trade is good is because that you get the bomb plant. And what I said earlier with like the bomb being +1, it's essentially +1. It's basically a 2 + 1 versus 3. So it's kind of the same. It's not quite the same because this one is like very much like rigid in the way it can help. So like it's like a time constraint, and like realistically you want a third player more than the bomb. Realistically, because the third player is going to be obviously much more impactful in the way that they can help you, so that you can set up like high-low type stuff, or you can set up trades, etc. They have util and the bomb doesn't have util, so it is technically not exactly equal, but it is better than 2 versus 3. So it's not the end of the world, and your trade is still good because you actually do get side off of the trade, and realistically against an operator, it's like the best case scenario that the low guy dies and you get the plant, so it's pretty good. Yeah, that it is literally to do with playtime. So like getting the reps in, along with not caring about the outcome that much. So like the main two mindsets I would think about when I want to like try and not panic in games is like the first thing is that I want to aim to have a lot of reps. So then I've done this stuff before. So then I panic a lot less because I'm like comfortable in the situation. I've seen these situations before. And just generally, the more experience you have in something, not exactly like valuable experience you've had in something, but just in general, the more. Well, actually, I don't know. That's an argument that I need to have with myself. I think I need to think about that a bit more. But I think the general gist is, if you have more experience, then you will have more understanding of what can happen, and therefore panic less. And then the other mindset is that if you don't care about losing elo, or as gaining elo as well, then it doesn't matter. So you would panic less because the outcome of the game doesn't really matter. It's because the outcome of a solo queue game shouldn't be that you like gain rank or lose rank or whatever. It should be that you become a better player, and that shouldn't hinge on the success of the game. So you can go 13-0 and lose, and then still improve from that game, and that's a win, right? That's a win in the long term, because if you understand ways that you played bad and that you could play better, then it's a win in the long run, right? So it's all about getting like valuable experience that can help you win in the future, right? So it doesn't matter. It should like. So what I say is that, you know, elo doesn't really matter that much. You should be trying to be a better player, and that's the type of mindset that I think about when I'm like playing like games like this. Is that you know, temporary loss of elo, I'll just get it back. It doesn't really matter. My elo is like temporary. But my improvement in the game is like solid and forever, essentially. If you want to remember the stuff that I'm improving, then I can do so for as long as I live, right? So it's like more concrete, less fragile than elo. So yeah, so yeah, just focus on improvement more so than the elo. That's like the main mindset that I think gets a lot of people out of the panic as well. Is that just not caring about the outcome? And that doesn't mean that you should go and troll your games. To be fair, to be very clear, that doesn't mean you should go troll your games because you don't care. It literally is that you only care about your improvement, and if you care about your improvement, you won't troll games either. So that's how I think about it. Because I'm not endorsing trolling. Nope, that's not happening. It's a good try. Your Sova actually is kind of crazy. This guy just takes fights. He does not care. He just takes fights. Absolute maniac. Honestly, that is actually more. I actually like aggression. Aggression and proactivity is like something that is really difficult to get into people unnaturally. Like if like the more natural you are to be aggressive and to be proactive, the better it usually ends up being. So that's like one of the main traits you really want, and you want to try and build early when you play games, is to be able to be proactive and make mistakes and learn from mistakes. That's like the biggest skill. Overall, you play this round completely fine. Because the enemy team kind of just fell over to every fight they took, and you didn't really take any fights. But you should probably really be spearheading your attacks more. Like, this is a bit more inactive. Like the clove, you should be in the close position. I mean, you do kind of do it now. But yeah, you should probably be a bit more proactive there in the more dangerous positions. But I mean, sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you'll think that they're going to flank arcade or something, and they don't. So, you know, it is what it is. That's a fine kill. Wait, it's like Jet and Friends on the enemy team? 32 kills. Jet and Friends on the enemy team? But it's fine. Armor tech doesn't really matter at the moment. I'm going to talk about armor economy stuff. Because that's not really that important until like Ascendant to Mortal Plus. Once again, kind of the same attack, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh! Okay, so once again, it is kind of like the same stun. I wonder if there is a better stun. I wonder if there's a better stun. Did I skip past it too much? Yeah, I did. Yeah, there is definitely a stun there. Maybe it's not the stun I said earlier. Maybe it is a different stun. But I would die. I would probably perish in this. Right, to be fair, you only would do the close stun if you're getting killed during mollied. I don't actually know what Neon's... I need to maybe watch more Fracture. That's what I need to do for Neon. Enemy went crazy this game, but I don't think she's smurfing. Just a good game. Yeah, I mean, I can tell she's not smurfing by this kill. That was a kill. Realistically, like you didn't have your gun up for so long. I mean, you were sliding, but still. Also, I feel like a good jet would right click in this situation, to be honest, even though it's the start of the round. But it is what it is. It's a good kill from you anyway. What I like about this kill, by the way, is that you don't stop moving. You don't stop moving. This is a good kill because you didn't stop moving. And you were just running and spraying. Because there's no way that she kills you. Like, she's got knives. So she basically has to headshot you. Or body shot you 3 times. And the Vandal's not going to lose if you're that close to someone. The Vandal's not going to miss the bullets. Like, the bullets don't just evaporate because you're moving. Like, they're going to hit people. They're going to hit things if you're like, close enough. So, I like the kill. Good kill. Good kill and really good, like, I'm not sure, like, it could have been born from panic. Like, it could be like, I don't want to die, I'll just keep running and shooting. But it is the right play there. Like, logically, the right play, like, eye test-wise. To be running and shooting there. So it's a 2v5, so you just don't need to do anything crazy, basically. But in a 5v2, in like any situation where you're plus, you do not need to be do anything crazy. Trades are completely fine. So yeah, you're playing it fine. Playing it good. There's a chance that like they can walk through CT and then fight you, which is kind of scary there, but I think it's completely fine to be in the angle you're in anyway. Pushing it's kind of crazy, but fair enough. The thing that I wanted to talk about just here was this. I wouldn't do this. I would just call canteen Mike. Just call canteen in Mike. I mean, obviously you don't even have to call canteen in Mike realistically because people are it's not you fighting it, so you know these people could call it technically. But yeah, if you want to call this, then you call it. You don't ping on map because you're also in an active angle here. Reina could just walk out and kill you. I mean, she can't really because she's also fighting. But realistically, she could run past this crosshair and fight you or something. She could do something. That's like you're in. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you're in an active fight or like you're in an active area where potentially you could get like at least pressured in some way. So I wouldn't be opening map. That's kind of scary. But yeah, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you already know that anyway.
Yeah, we can fake B.
Fake B, I like the call. Fake B.
Neon, can you go A?
One thing that I don't like so far, but like this happens. This is more of an elo thing, like a game sense and like a game or like map understanding type thing. But a lot of people on attack just don't like an attack. They just don't know that like the other part of the map exists. Like this part of the map just doesn't exist. Like past the rope, like that's like a no man's land. Like no one goes there. It's like a ghost town. But like that part of the map is actually very strong on attack to make sure you can take and you can use because you pincer them naturally. You're just naturally pincering the enemy team by using that side of the map, and so it's on them to play aggressively. This is why I think low people struggle on like this map, because the main premise is like defense get naturally pincered, therefore naturally they have to attack both sides. But on both sides, you're naturally not playing correctly. Like the natural play isn't the same on this map as any other map, because the natural play is to like just play linearly. You know what I mean? Like there's like a front line, and then you're pushing that front line up towards the sites. Like it's very, very simple on other maps, but on this map, the natural pincer means you kind of have to play a lot more flank, and you have to be a bit more defensive overall because you're a lot more spread. And then on attack, or on defense, you're basically playing like attack because you want to take areas away. So then you're not naturally pincered anymore. So like this map is just very difficult for people to understand when all the rest of the maps aren't the same. Like this is such a difficult map to understand when you don't know what, like when you don't really play the game or map or whatever. Like it's like the biggest learning hurdle at the start. The enemies went drop on arcade once on attack, same as us. Yeah, it just doesn't really get used very much. And to be honest, it happens a lot in other elos as well. But I think as elos go up, obviously people make way more use of it. And I think it's kind of maybe the same wavelength as like lurking as well, where I think people don't really understand or utilize lurking very well when the lower elos, simply because like map control is like not a very easy thing to understand. Generally, especially in solo queue, when things can be very honestly straight up random sometimes with what people do in some certain situations. So people just tend to not lurk very much, and therefore they don't really try these things out on Fracture either. It's got like the same kind of line of thinking as well. So with like map control and like pincering the enemy and understanding flanking and crosshair placement and how it messes with it when you flank and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think this round so far has been completely fine. The rain is just completely trolling. I don't know what she's doing. But you know, fair enough. Wait, it was the fake. It was the fake, wasn't it? The fake was perfect, actually. I mean, realistically, the Raider shouldn't be doing that. That's like the freest kill. But like, fake worked really well. Even Killjoy left. That's insane. Even the anchor decided to run off. Left all util. Oh, that's a bit scary though. Yeah, I wouldn't go past it. Like, so one of the main things with like with the duelists is that you're going to be like the front line. You're like the one that kind of takes the space and makes space for your team. So by doing this, the main thing you're doing is giving up space. That's like the main thing you've just done by running back into main. You've kind of just given the space, and they're like us play solo, hit solo there. I think I hate playing an outside. Honestly, this position is actually quite good in post. The reason why this position is good in post is because it's directly opposed to a main. Which means that if anyone's A main, and obviously if it's not smoked, then they can trade with you. And they can fight with you. So it's like a really strong position to make sure you have. It's also just naturally the plant position as well. This is not really default plant. This is default plant. I mean, to be fair, this is default plant, but in higher levels of play, this is default plant. And this is like the safer plant that you can't always get. So this is a safer plant that you can always get, because you can't sometimes get this one depending on the enemy ults and that kind of thing. But generally, this is like the better place to plant, and it's also the better place to play. This can be quite good as well for like peeking off like flanks and things, or like just peeking off like general aggression. That can be quite good in that way. But for the most part, this is like the better place to play on A site if you want to play on site, which you should be on Neon. On Neon, I feel like you are basically always playing on site or more aggressive than that, depending on the situation. So, and obviously there are times where you will play more passively, but I don't think like they're very rare. I think to play very passively on Neon, depending on like it depends on so many factors. But like exclusively Neon versus like everyone else. You know what I mean? Like you can play passive on anyone in like the situations that you play passive on Neon, if that makes sense. Like if you wanted, like if it's like a numbers advantage to you, like that kind of stuff, you play a lot more passive on Neon, that kind of thing. Like, but that's you play very passive on everyone. So what I mean, so well, not very passive, but you play more passive, if that makes sense. Okay, I like it. There's a lurk. This is better play so far, team wide. Wait, where's the other guy? Oh, you're playing you're playing a split. Okay, not a lurk, it's a split. I couldn't quite see those two people there. Okay, I like the split as well. The split is good too. I like the split. In fact, I like the split a bit more.
Go B then.
Go B.
Yeah. Or maybe wait,
Oh.
they don't have money too, so
They know we are going A.
They don't know that, by the way.
They know we are going A.
They don't know that. So, multiple things have happened here. So, you know that Killjoy is playing A. And that doesn't mean automatic rotate. Because if Killjoy is playing A, what it does mean that there's no util on the other site. It does mean, and obviously there's util set up on A. What it does mean is that she's generally going to be one or two players on the site. She's going to be the weak side. So you got to think about that. Like if the weak side can be taken with ults, for instance, biggest ult being deadlocks in against weak side. If it can be taken like that, then it's better because there's less people there anyway. So you might as well take the weak side. If you go back, you're going back into the strong side, which is what the enemy team want you to do. So most of the time, you want to be like, if the killjoy's playing site, it doesn't mean you want to go into the site necessarily. It just means if you have any tricks to win the site versus the sentinel, then it's usually better than to just run back to the strong side, if that makes sense. I need to put my light on. Always come back. I forgot my my camera follows me a bit sometimes. Let me just shut my blinds. Okay. Yeah. So it's not just an automatic run away from sentinel, is what I'm trying to say. You shouldn't automatically run away from the sentinel. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It usually just depends on what ults you have up. If you have good ults to like bypass the sentinel, things like KO ult or even deadlock ult. Deadlock ult can be good if you have like a decent understanding of where they might play. Then that works. That can like bypass the fact that they're weak side, and you can just take the site for basically free. So yeah, just things to note there. And also as well with the Silver saying that they know you're there. I don't know. There's nothing that gives away that you know you're going A. The only potential thing that might give it away is if someone has pushed B main or arcade. Not really so much arcade, but more so B main. And there's no way that Silver could know that because he's here with no passive information here. So I don't know why he could call that. Makes no sense. The only like he might be. I think he's reacting off the
Wait, they don't have money too.
He's reacting from this kill.
They know.
But this isn't guaranteed to know that they're there, right? Even if you saw the deadlock, it doesn't guarantee that they know you're A main. It might. To be fair, they might think that, which is, and also it would be true. They might think that, to be fair. But the only reason why they might think that is if they also saw deadlock, which I'm not sure if that happened or not.
We are going A.
If they only saw Jet, they might think it's a lurk.
You're supposed to help me.
But also, wait, yeah, so he ran away. He ran away. Wait, he's playing CT. So you know he's playing CT from that, by the way. That's also good because your teammates are running B. So yeah, I like the noise you're making. What I would actually do instead of shooting it is something that like can be interesting, especially because you're playing Neon. So because you're playing Neon, you can also be in places faster, right? Because you can just run around. So if you see this, I would start running. If it is guaranteed that you're going B, your rest of the team are going B, I would start running, making a sound cue, and then I would purposely get hit by this killjoy thing, like get it to aggro on me, then shoot it while it's aggroed on me. And that way it's going to sell that fake 10 times, like sell that you're going A 10 times more than just shooting it from the back of main. Because then it's going to think that they're actually close because you triggered on you, right? And then you can just run away. You would probably just start walking. And then you would start running in like this position, right? Like high gear. And then you would be basically with your team at that point because you're playing Neon. So it like sells it a bit more that you're actually going to go inside. And it also sells as well because you're playing Neon. Neon's all about faking timings and like getting like better timings. So what you can do is you can run up and it feels like you're lagging behind your team. But because you're playing Neon, you can like cheat the timing back again, if that makes sense. Because every other agent, think about it like this, would just have the normal walking speed around here, then knife run out speed over here. But with Neon, you would walk normally like everyone else, but then you would start running, and then you would catch up to your teammates faster because you are playing Neon and not playing another agent. So it is better that way as well, in that you are playing Neon. With other agents, it's like, half and half. You do have to be careful here, like running here as well, though, in this position here, because you can see the sound bubble or the sound circle is here. So you got to be careful if someone was playing Heaven. They will hear the rotation. So sometimes you gotta run here, like in a wide arc, and then start walking, and then run again. That's also potentially if you really want to sell the fake and you're a bit too late on the fake. That can also be an issue, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. Yeah, you end up getting the site. That's good. Oh, unlucky. There is definitely a relay bolt there that's doable, but I don't know what it is. I'm guessing it is literally just as simple as bounce it here, and then it bounces here, and it stuns like this close, and it stuns like this on the stairs, and it stuns like this corner, basically, like this. I'm guessing that is the right relay bolt, but I'm not sure how good it actually is. I'm trying to think what they do in Pro. I don't feel like they ever... Did the relay bolt this very often? I don't think they do. Not super often. Oh yeah, they do actually, a bit. I feel like I see a lot more relay bolts towards backside, or like towards arcade area, like when they actually go through arcade. They're like relay bolt on this instead, or the relay bolt like over here. It's like flood. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the best relay bolt is there. I'm guessing that you can just bounce it off this and do this if you think someone's close. To be honest, I wouldn't have thought someone was close. So at the very start of the very start of this decision making, I actually probably wouldn't have thought someone was close here anyway. So even if I was in this situation as well, I don't think I'm throwing that stun. I think I'm just dying to the shotgun. Because I don't think I would have expected someone to be a shotgun there if we just faked.
My bad.
And generally pretty good by Jet. Not sure why I didn't slide there, just mechanical error. You mean here? To be honest, I don't think that you're wrong to not slide there. I think that's completely fine. Like I think the main problem is the fake didn't land, basically. So, because realistically, if the fake worked, which it looked like it did at first. Actually, no. Actually, wait. There's more. Maybe as soon as this rain of flash goes out. I don't know. Actually, it's only one thing. No, and it's on CT as well. Yeah, I actually don't think you made it necessarily a mistake there. It's more that the fake didn't work, and you were the one that found out it didn't work, basically. Because I don't think anyone would expect if a fake was working that a Jet would be in here with a shotgun. I don't feel like this is like expectable. I feel like you can expect someone to be like deep, like maybe you can expect someone to be tower. It is five people, so maybe it's actually kind of decently expectable, or like maybe there's a chance, but I don't know. I have to think about it a bit more. I don't think you're at massive fault here though. I think it's pretty close. Yeah, exactly. Like when they've got 5 people, there's only so many places they can play. So like realistically, you should probably be aware that they could be here. Like that's the only thing. Like if it was a 3v3, I would not expect this at all. But yeah, like you wouldn't expect, like you don't really go into a fake and then expect your fake to fail every time, so you check everything. Like that's just not how the fake works. So I think it's fun. I don't think it's like a massive issue. What I would say is that you can try and be a bit more aware of like these type of situations where the fake didn't work, and therefore you have to check some of the more common places for people to sit. Because to be fair, sitting in heaven is just such a horrible angle for them to hold. So maybe you do just have to expect that there's going to be someone there every time, which seems kind of strange. Yeah, I think it's just unlucky more than anything. Just because the core was a fake and then they didn't fall for the fake. So I think it's more that the fake was the problem, more so than what you did afterwards. But yeah, you can be a bit more ready for that, I guess. Like have your gun out at least for the angle. That's like the only thing. Or maybe you could slide, but it's like you don't really want to be using util on like a maybe as much. It depends on the situation, I guess. But I wouldn't have used the slide on a maybe there, just because it was a fake as well. Okay, we got dish. Fighting dish is always horrible sometimes. Well, I say always horrible. Not always horrible. It's sometimes horrible. She's drunk. Where's she looking? Oh, she's looking CT. She jumped and then looked CT. Oh, the close smokes aren't very good.
They're rotating from there. They're going back.
May have kind of accidentally killed the killjoy. Yeah, the stun is very good here. So this stun is like a good time to talk about things like skill, like what's it called, like ability economy basically, and like how that works, because realistically you don't want to be using your abilities when they're not going to get you a kill. In solo queue, you generally want every single use of an ability to get you a kill. That's not always going to happen, and that's also not going to be the only reason why you'd use them, but most of the time, you want all your abilities to kind of secure you a kill. It's a bit different on Neon because he has high gear, and high gear is like a much more macro level skill. But you can kind of count it as the slide instead, I would guess. So you want the slide to equal a kill, you want overdrive to equal with generally more kills than one, but because it's an ultimate. So you want it to be like round winning, basically ults generally. But relay bot, you want to get a kill. Fast line, you want to kind of like let it equal a kill. And that can be a bomb plant as well, to be fair. Just gaining space can also equal a kill, so it can be a bit more macro focused. So putting it in the fast lane gets you more space, and therefore gets your team a kill because you get the kill on the guy that's like isolated on site because you gain that space. So that kind of thing, right? So the reason why I want to talk about that is because this relay bolt doesn't do anything. It doesn't really equal a kill. It's in a smoke. No one can like capitalize off the stun. So it doesn't really do anything. It's not going to get you a kill. And it doesn't delay any time either. The bomb's not really planted. Like maybe it can help the deadlock cross, but like the smoke is doing that anyway. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really bother stunning it and keep the stun for a potential kill or potential way to like delay the bomb being diffused, that kind of thing. It's not really equaling anything right there. It's just kind of stunning a smoke randomly and that's it.
I have first contact here.
So yeah, it's just about ability economy. That's a good ult. I wouldn't peek this. The only way you would peek this is if you heard someone shoot the mix. If you hear someone shoot the mix, then peek. But if not, I wouldn't peek. And you have to also know where the bullets are coming from as well to peek and pre-aim it. So yeah, I wouldn't have peeked, but yeah, I wouldn't have peeked that quickly anyway. Yeah, that's a fine kill.
It's like we could
I like that you're buying a shorty as well. Although I'm not sure how good the shorty is now after the changes. I'll have to have a proper look. I don't think I've properly seen people use the shorty since the changes. So I'll have to have a look at if the shorty is still worth buying. Actually, it probably is because it is only accuracy that has changed. So I imagine, you know, and shorty you only use at close range anyway. So like the accuracy matters a lot less than people realize probably for the shorty.
They are rotating from B.
Damn.
They are
And flank, kind of going crazy.
what? Sorry.
Wait, what? You win that round?
Same shit.
Absolute robbery,
Maybe I'll
honestly.
for-
Guy gets 2 kills at the start of the round, 1v2,
Do something.
and loses. I'd be depressed. Absolute robbery. Once again, we're playing on this side, playing towards arcade. I do like you mixing up a bit more. It's not always the right play to just change for change's sake on solo queue or like in anything really. No point in changing for change's sake, but you know, what a reason. But I like that you kind of like testing things out a lot more. Like there's a reason to change, like to like look at the place on the map because you're like learning the map basically, or like trying to understand the map. So it makes sense to kind of play in other positions and then kind of understand like if it's good, bad, like what I can do in those positions, how I play those positions out. So there's a reason to change around things. Anyway, like naturally. Yeah, honestly, kind of unfortunate on this kill. Your crosshair placement was the main problem here. So crosshair placement is just in the wall. Should be over here. It realistically should have actually exactly on his head. Maybe a bit over here. This is probably where it should be. In this region anyway. So yeah. You're just pre-aiming the angle too quickly.
Nice.
Yeah, you're just pre-aiming the angle too quick. What I would do, to be fair, it's not super. Maybe a bit more unlucky actually, because you're not actually the first one. So it makes a lot of sense for you to be. Actually, I don't know. Thinking about it, no, actually, wait. You wouldn't really be pre-aiming this. They should be pre-aiming this. The clove. You should be watching this. Right. I'm trying to think how I do it. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely should be watching this. Because the clove is ahead of you, they're going to be exposed to this angle first. So they're going to pre-aim first. But they are still more exposed to this angle than you are, because they're further ahead. So it's like I guess that's kind of the trade-off, I guess. But you still should be aiming here, because this person's going to pre-aim first regardless. So you should be watching this the entire time until they've peaked it. And then you can start pre-aiming it. Is what I would say. Trying to think how I do it, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Pretty sure that's how I do it anyway. If that's right or wrong, who knows? But I'm pretty sure that's how I would do it at the very least. Just because it makes more sense, because they're going to be pre-aiming first anyway. There's no point in you pre-aiming first. So yeah, that's the only issue here. Kind of unlucky that Jet killed you and not Clove, to be honest. Kind of unfortunate, but well. Good trade though, on the bright side. What is going on there? What is going on there? Okay. Unlucky. Overtime. Yeah, once again, we're kind of in a bit more of a passive position. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, we're still passive, kind of. This is like a double problem, this position, because it's like passive not super passive because you can kind of hear things going on in B main. So you can still hear things. It's not like completely bad because phase 1 you can just still get some info. But then the problem is it's an on angle
Nice, nice.
and you're just gonna get preempt. So it's like a double-edged sword, maybe you could say, but like you can get that info and not be in that angle at the same time. So I wouldn't necessarily say this angle is good because you can achieve what you want to do with this angle if it's like a phase 1 to get info and then not die to a preempt. But just by playing where you are now, to be honest, if you want to do that. But generally, I wouldn't expect a Neon to do this. Like this is like a Teo or like a Fade or a Mix or a Clove or something. Like this is not a Neon. Phase 1.
Just seen a floating.
What is Sova doing? Wait, Sova's got it's an AFK.
I'm just seeing a floating.
He can't get through. You'd have to kill her. Yeah. Okay.
What
You probably wouldn't actually kill her. You should just stay there. To be honest. Sova kind of messed up. Sova had some free kills if he just stood still. Yeah. As I say, like, yeah, this is a bit too passive, but if you want to be this passive, you just play CT.
A fucking
You just
flash.
play CT and play fast rotate, but you shouldn't really do that in like buy rounds. Not really. It's much faster, much better to play
I'm gonna wait to
proactively and take space on buy rounds. On pistol, you can get away with the CT play because it's not as much util going on, and fights aren't quite as refined or like I don't know how to explain. They're a bit more messy, just generally. So makes sense to be a bit more reactive and not add to the chaos and the hamburger flips. Generally this is fine. I would say you're a bit too passive. Once again. Bit too slow to walk up in my opinion. But I also think that the rest of the team are as well. It's crazy you die in the back though. That should never happen really. But at the same time it's the 3v4, so maybe looking for something proactive I guess. But realistically Jet should have jumped down already and then you should be walking up together on the wall. I mean to fight drop and sight. Or what you can do alternatively, which is the better play, is go fight door and then fight through a main. That is also the play as well. So doing this. That is also a better play as well. And it would stop that mix from making that play in retrospect, but
Okay, main.
yeah, you win it.
By the way, Killjoy is okay.
Killjoy's AFK. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, Sova the maniac once again, this guy. Just takes every fight possible.
Going B.
Absolutely maniac.
Go back, go back, go back.
There's two.
Clove got into tower and there's a guy watching tower like that. That's insane.
Yeah, go back. No, we are.
Oh yeah. Sova's kind of screwed that a bit. I think you guys could just walk out contact there. Don't know what he's making sound for. Yeah, he gonna troll it. I'll be honest. I'm looking. Yeah, I think here. I think you're just too passive again. Does it feel like it in game because of the stress? I guess. Yeah, you are very very passive. You're like letting everyone take first fights rather than you. To be fair, Sova is a maniac. He just runs out and takes the fight. Look at him. He's like already ready in the corner. Like before anything like it. Look at him. He's ready to go. That should be
By
you.
the way, Killjoy is okay.
Sova should not be doing that. You should be doing that. Absolute maniac.
Go back.
It's so funny actually. But yeah, it's funny that I see Sova so aggressive, but yeah, you realistically should be a bit more aggressive. Even in situations like this, like I understand like it's maybe not the easiest thing to see,
Go back.
but you should just, if you says go back, press high gear and go ahead of both of them. Press high gear, go straight ahead of both of them. And then start walking in aim and contact. That's probably what I would do. Because also as well, if that happens as well, if like there's no way someone's playing here in this situation either. So like you can get away with staying quite close to it, I think. Be kind of crazy if they're playing that.
Push. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Pushing arcade. I would like it more if you like took more space. But I don't mind this actually. This is fine. Crosshair placement's a bit low. It's a bit low for them on the actual good angle. They would be on either here or here. I can't even go on. I don't see anyone go on here anymore. Really, barely see anyone go on this. Oh yeah, it's because isn't it because it starts here? It's kind of awkward angle to jump up on. Yeah, but like the point is, their head height is like here. It's like this. That guy's got a poor leg. It's like this. So your crosshair is a bit too low. Basically, it's about the same. So there's not really good reference here actually. I guess you could say like this maybe. This little like this part here. There's not really good reference in this position. Yeah. Usually they've got quite a good reference for every single angle, more or less. But there's no good reference here.
Sound like they're rotating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, rotate.
Okay, I like it. I like this is good.
Stay.
We're like taking all the flank.
Stepping. I mean.
Reacting off your. You can crouch, yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's actually, you know what's crazy though, is that if they saw that, and then you walk through it like that, they're not gonna expect drop.
Nice.
That's the funny part though, is that could unironically be a good play. If the gap is guaranteed. Oh, that is crazy.
Nice.
And a good kill as well.
Maybe I'll
Okay, he's contacting up into B. This is a hard contact there because it could be up in even in overtime. People can go glass cannon. So we will as well. Okay, we're doing the same sort of play. Okay, we did not learn. We didn't learn. We didn't learn. We didn't learn from the previous 2 times. I was thinking this time you're gonna stun. Yeah, there definitely needs to be a stun here. That's my duo. Yep. Yeah, there needs to be a stun here. They're pretty sure there needs to be a stun here. I'm not 100% sure on if this stun is correct or if there's a different stun that's correct. But this one, at the very least, it would work in 2 situations that I've seen it work. And then the other situation is that you got Killjoy molled. And so you could only stand close. So therefore, on this wall, stunning deep would work better. Because also, if this is going to get trapped, it's likely she's not going to be reacting off the traps 100%. Because of the nature of the site. She can still be seen from very far away that don't attack her traps. So she wouldn't be swinging this angle either. So she would be around here, probably. Or like reflanking or something. So I think overall, there is definitely a stun that needs to happen here. If the Killjoy mollies are on here, or like the Sentinels here, you might not do this one. But I think for the most part, you're always going to stun this now. I think so. I don't know if there's a better stun. There might be a better stun, but I can't imagine a better stun in the angle. Like if you want to stun close, you have to bounce it here. So, or like I guess you do it on the door frame and get a slightly shallower stun. But I don't think that's good either. I think it's I think it must be in this sort of region. Bounces here and stuns like this. It must be this. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Pretty sure that's right. It might be worth watching a pro player like Durka or something playing the on. Does Durka play Neon on this map? I actually don't know. But it might be worth playing Neon, not watching Neon, get played on Fracture. If you still play it. Just because then you can copy what the pros are doing. Because it's pretty useful to copy what they do. In these types of situations especially. Yeah, I never did. Feels like I either complete waste a stun or try to greet it and die. I mean, that's also it can kind of be sometimes. It's just about understanding where the enemy team are going to be positioned. And it's not a super easy thing to do in gold. I'll be honest. Doubly for the fact that you're just getting to grips with where people can be. Like the macro is not the strongest. But then on top of that as well, the enemy team are also sometimes, the macro also isn't the strongest either. So they're going to be in some random positions sometimes. So what I would say generally is like, just try and get a decent plan in your mind. By decent plan, I don't mean like it actually has to be like decent. What I mean is like what you think in your perspective is decent. So that could be, you know, generally it could be like even like decent plans in my mind are bad in pro and that kind of thing. So like what I mean is like try and get a decent plan together. And just assume like I think that X player is going to play Heaven this round, or I think X player is going to be doing this round. That can help as well. A good place to start is pressing tab at the start in the buy phase and looking at ults. That's also a good way to start that sort of mindset. Another good way you can kind of like figure it out as well is when you start buy phase, the first thing I want you to think about is not buying anything, but to think about what the enemy team is going to do next round. Not what they did last round, but what they do this round, the next round forward. And then you buy afterwards. Like do it for like 20 seconds max and then buy. And then like make your own plan around that within those 20 seconds and then buy what you need for that plan and then go, right? That's kind of like what I would kind of say. And obviously as you get better, you'd be faster and that kind of thing. But you see him slowing pre-aiming deep tower. I'm just completely unaware of this. To be honest, yeah, I think it's completely fine that you are aware of it. But it's just that the stun kind of guards you from this play, I guess, is what I would say the stun does. Like at the very least. The stun is going to guard you from this play. And I think it can help with like... Because this close angle happened to you again the previous round. So if anything, I would think that you're going to pre-aim the close angle. Just because it's happened multiple times that way. And it's likely they play the same way again in the same game. I think I need more reps on this map. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the stun will just the stun will just guard you from this angle potentially as well. So yeah, I would just like, if you think they're gonna play heaven, do this stun as like a security measure basically to know that you can't die and you can take the first part of tower. And also as well, if you time it correctly, if you have a jet or something or like a raise that can be like with you, you can also time it that you go into the first part of tower with the other player, so then they can trade, or you can trade them or whatever. So that can also be a good way to like think about it, where you can push them out the first part of tower and that kind of thing. Is this plan even good? Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, because you take sight, you actually cut off sight. The only issue with it, with this, is that in better games, because what you're actually doing, right, is you're like moving the smoke line closer to you. So this is good and bad. It's like a double-edged sword, right? So when it's closer to you, they have more space. So these smokes, for instance, if you don't have a smoker, so this is actually a really good fast line because you don't have a smoke right now. So this is like perfect. It replaces the smokes, so it's completely fine. But if you did have smokes here, it essentially moves the smoke line, so they can't. So they might actually decide to push through the smoke, right? Because even though they can't necessarily see the fast line through the smoke, they can hear the fast line. So sometimes they can see it through the edges as well. Like when it like domes, when it like goes rounded, they can like see it through this gap basically. So sometimes they'll see this and they'll be thinking, I can just walk through. So you might run into that later on when the players get better. And the answer to that is that changing pathing. So if you do end up going into this, you can either, well, there's two things. You can either not do this fast lane and you can do it more aggressive. So you can do it like this instead, which is a really strong fast lane to kind of like isolate the arcade away from the rest of the site. So then you can fight arcade with teammates, and then you can take arcade and tower together like this, which is pretty cool. The other way as well, what you might do is have this fast lane, and then if they try to abuse it, they try to run through, then you might go and counter that for a round. You might die to it. You might not go very well for you in that round. But the adaptation is that you want to go through the wall. So you would what you would do is you would place this wall, and then you plus another player should run through it. Or not just run through it, you can walk through it as well, with these smokes up. And then you take this space as well, and you can bait them into walking through smokes, and then you just kill them because they walk through a smoke dry. So that can also be that's like the adaptation if that ends up happening. But I'm not sure if that would happen versus like I'm pretty sure that's like going to be more of a high level play anyway. So you might not encounter that for a while. But this fast line is completely fine. If you want a more aggressive fast line, it is the one for arcade, or it's the one that goes into this wall here as well. Also works. You've got to bear in mind as well with where you're opening up to as well. If you do it like this, they can walk through the edge of the smoke and see through the fast lane. So you're going to be careful of that. But other than that, it's pretty intuitive anyway. The fast line is like that, so it should be completely fine. But yeah, I think your play is fine. Your play is fine. There's like quite a few different routes you can take with the fast lane being that way as well. You can do different fast lanes as well if you want to. But yeah, generally it's fine. You're making space for your team going on to side like this. And I think in gold, this is completely serviceable. In higher levels of play, as I mentioned, you'll have different potential walls. You'll have different ways to path with the same fast lane. So yeah, it's just a matter of like also adapting to the game you're currently in as well. Like if no one plays heaven, maybe you don't run heaven because then the space isn't technically like if they consistently give up heaven, running heaven isn't necessarily going to be a great thing because you're not necessarily making space because that space is already free. So what you can do is you can just run through the smoke when they don't go heaven a lot. that kind of thing. It's going to be things that you more think about as time goes on. You can start to think about that type of stuff more. Okay, yeah, because I'm low-key just winging my abilities. I should look at some proper setups. Yes, proper setups are a good way to start for sure. Watching pro players play the map on the agent as well. Really good way to learn because you can just copy what they do and it's completely fine most of the time. There are going to be times where they obviously do things that are a lot more specific, but for the most part, you're going to be able to pick up some very important, like really easy things to do that are going to work in your games. Or on other maps, I'm just splitting site into 2 with Fastlane. Yeah, it kind of depends how you do it. Sometimes it can be bad, sometimes it can be good. It also depends on the situation as well. Like if your teammates are splitting or not, or if your teammates have good util for the wall. So for instance, like if you have a Sky, they tend to work very well with walls because they can flash through the walls and get info. So if you have a Sky, like splitting the side like that, then sending a Sky flash through to fight with you, pretty strong to do. Like that type of stuff can really change the way. Like, and then on the flip side, if you have something like a Sova, tends to not really like walls that much because it blocks its recon. So like it's like push and pull. Like you want to kind of know what your other teammates want to do and then where you want to place the wall with that as well. Flip side as well, you want to know what the enemy team wants to do. So the wall might be really good in the split site because the enemy team want to defend the front site. So they might have a lot of mollies that want to defend the front site choke points. But if you fast lane and split the site, so then you can get out the front site without being contested, then they're not going to like that. Things like Viper or Brimstone, or there's another molly that likes that. I mean, guess KO, but that's not who I was thinking of. But yeah, they won't like that because they want to fight you in the choke point. They don't want to fight you when you're already on site. So things like that can work as well. And this guy always unlucky. It's going to be a draw. Or am I going to get a spoiler from the first win of this version on this phase of overtime? Okay, I like the push. This is how I thought you would push it before. This is a slightly better push because you have the option to go walk under if they go B, if Jet dies. Which I think is better. And you also have the option to always fight arcade. Okay, I don't like running back here to then instead of going bridge and going dish. It's a bit, yeah, okay, then you rotate again. It takes way too long, yeah. It takes way too long. It just took way too long to do anything. But even then, like, I don't think, to be fair, your teammates got rolled on A. So I'm not sure if you would have had that much time anyway. By the time you're here, Reyna's like in CT. So I think that actually, ironically, it might just be best to just go CT. To be honest, because of where Reyna is. And you've got no reason to not look at the map here, because you haven't got a good net. So you might as well be looking at the map. So you would know this. So this is probably the right decision. This is fine, but this is probably the right decision. Oh, there's also a wall here as well. Oh, yeah, this is the right decision for sure. Okay. Kind of unfortunate though. It's just you indecisive, very indecisive here. No choice already. I'm reclaiming the lurk on B main to not constantly have to look behind me. Yeah, the thing is that's a mistake. The reason why it's a mistake is because if this does happen, you're just going to be faster than them anyway. And then if you're proactive on this side of the map, they're -1 here anyway. So, because she's lurking, she's not here. So, you said 2v4 over here. If you make something happen over here, if you give yourself enough time to know the lurk is happening, then you can just fight the lurk eventually. The only becomes a problem if you take too much time to then find anything from the 4. That makes sense in this fight. If you take very long on there, they have time to come and wrap against you. But even then, that can also be like even remedied again. Like if you know you're taking time to take these fights, not only is that bad because it's also going to be planted against you, so you probably won't do that anyway. But if you know that's going to happen and you're taking too much time, you can just know the lurk is going to be there again, like soon, and then fight the lurk. That can also happen as well. So it's just one of those things where it's about timings and understanding the timings about how they can walk, like how fast they can walk behind you, that kind of thing, instead of just checking it every time. So, and that's also going to be something that you're not necessarily going to learn by checking it every time. You're going to be learning it by running CT and helping team, or like participating in the team fight more, and then remembering that flank existed before. The other thing you can do as well is just play with Jet here as well. That's the other thing you can do. As I mentioned, just play with the Jet. If you think they're going to lurk every time, just go play with Jet and take the 1v1 and take the 2v1. And kill her before she gets you might even kill her before. You might even get the kill because there's 2 of you, and it just so happens that you get two 280s, two 280 body shots, and kill her before she actually kills either of you. or you just trade, and then it's no longer a problem, and it's sorted out. The problem is sorted out a lot faster. Yeah, I don't like the check here. I also don't like it as well because it's so deep in T spawn. Like she's here as well. Like it's not even guaranteed that she's gonna run here. Like I understand if it's like Jet died here against this fight, I would understand checking this more. But because it's so far away, it's likely she just runs back to her team. I'm gonna take the 5v2 and run back to my team. That's what she should be thinking, right?
Completely chill.
There's no like if she stays there, it's a crazy luck. Well, even if she's like, she wouldn't even be that fast either. Realistically, she would just stay in T spawn and wait for a long flank. But even then, that's probably the wrong play. She just run back to site with team. Okay, we're in this situation again. Oh, oh no. Yeah, that's kind of unlucky. Yeah, the fragile is brutal. The vulnerable. That is brutal. Yeah, once again, it's just kind of you betray your own pathing there. You're just you kind of run into the wall instead of run here. Maybe were you? I mean, to be fair, this is also going to hit you here, so it's not exactly the greatest to go up the stairs either. Yeah, that's okay. It happens. It happens. And then win this. Unlucky. But honestly, that was a good game overall. I think you played pretty good overall. There were some really good kills. There was some really good decision making as well. I think most of it is just about, for me, I think it's a lot more about like routine and also understanding some of the macro things on Fracture. Because yeah, Fracture is a difficult map to know and to learn. And also as well, I think that routine wise, you could build up some routines, build up some like habits, some good habits. And I think you would have a solid game. But it's fair game. Jet dropped over 4. Yeah, it was Jet and Friends, to be honest, wasn't it? There's a bit of Jet and Friends going on. 44 and 21. My God, Jet and Friends, actually, for real. My God. Yeah. So what I would say is that building up some routines would help. So I'm going to open Valorant real quick. Let me just open Val. Open up Valorant. But yeah. So. I mean, I didn't really carry on my notes, unfortunately, but I've got jump spot and movement in duel tied down, but I kind of understand the rest of the stuff. Anyway, I'll go a general good sense of it. Yeah, so we're gonna do, if my Valorant opens, it is open. What we'll do is we'll do some we'll do jump spot. I'll show jump spot. Talk about movement in duel as well. Those are the things I've got noted down, and then I've also got, is it custom I want to do? I'll do range. Yeah, we'll do jump spot, movement in duel, and then what do I want to do after that? It'd be really building routine, but there's not really any drill for that necessarily. It's more that in game you kind of have to have this mindset. You can just note it down, right, on a notepad or on a sticky note, whatever you want to use. And just make sure that you're going to make a plan in the buy phase. When the buy phase starts, you like make a plan. You think about what the enemy team will do this round, not necessarily what they'll do last round. You might use last round's info, but don't dwell on what they did last round very much. Like think about it for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and max. Like just touch on it a tiny bit. Try to remember some of the things they did in that small amount of time, and then start thinking about the next round. And then past that point, you want to be using your now that you know what you want to do the next round from what they did last round, then you can buy the stuff that makes sense. So if you want to play like a close angle, you'll go like shotgun, whatever, right? Or if you want to play like a long angle, you go operator. Just make sure that the gun, like the buy, fits what you want to do. And also that is crucially on the right round economically for you as well, right? Don't make a plan and then you can't buy for that plan. So like that's not good either. But yeah, you want to just basically make that plan, and then you just try and suit that plan essentially. You can also think about it in phases as well, that plan. So the phase 1 to 4, where you've got like the phase 1 of like getting the info, and then the phase 2 of like repositioning based on that info, and then phase 3 is like more reactionary of what they do, so what they're attacking or what they're defending. And then phase 4 is like retake sort of situation, right? So you can go to break it down like that as well. I could recommend some videos as well. I do have a video on mindset stuff. I just have to find it. I'll probably have to link it. And also as well, there's some people that I like to recommend. The main recommendation I would say for gunfight stuff, gunfight hygiene type stuff, is Woohoo Jin. He has a good video on gunfight hygiene. And then the other person I'd recommend, who actually has only really recently started doing things, is Bonkar. He's the coach for NRG, literally like the world champs. He has done some content, and that stuff he also talks about phases. So I would look at some of his content because he's very good, he's very smart, as you are when you're a world champion coach. He's very smart about the game. So yeah. Okay, so I'll do jump spot first, and then we'll talk about dueling, probably in DM. So in the watch Woohoo Jin Gunfight Hygiene. That's the only reason why my aim is complete garbage. Yeah, because that video is very good. About just like genuinely getting, like, especially like getting to gold, getting like your stuff in check. What I would say is, if you've already watched that video, is just try and refine the stuff. Like, just try and keep the reps up. Make sure that you are like practicing and like, you know, constantly thinking about like your gunfight hygiene in things and being critical of yourself, like looking back as well. Okay, so with the, I'm going to pick a less annoying gun. So jump spotting is something that is different now for Neon. I should pick Neon. What am I doing? So jump spotting is different for Neon now because you now jump at the normal speed. Because this is normal. So for instance, like this is normal jump. Okay, there's actually a lip on that. Hang on, this is normal jump. So I went like to this point, right? And then this is Neon jump. And you can see it's like marginally better, right? It's like this difference. So it's like they've barely even changed it really, right? Like it's so slow in comparison to what it used to be. So this jump spot that people used to do with Neon is like way worse than it used to be. And basically this is how you actually jump spot, right? So a lot of people jump spot like this. Basically, or they jump spot like this. I didn't really see jump spot very much, and this is definitely like more like a phase 1 type thing. And you're very inactive overall. So I want you to kind of like think about jump spotting things early on. Bear in mind you are giving away your position by making sound and that kind of thing, so you're gonna be careful of that. But generally, this is gonna help you get info for free, right? So you don't have to use any util to do this. So it's very strong to do this. You can also just like go into a corner and say if someone's like gonna be running up here at the start of a round, that's free info. So it doesn't have to even be a jump spot, but like, yeah, there's that type of thing. But going back to jump spots, this is how a lot of people would do it, right? Fix crosshair, hand off the mouse. They'll jump spot like this. That's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to actually like jiggle your mouse backwards again. And it makes you basically unkillable. And the thing is, the very crucial thing you want to do here is, because I can't see anything, right? Physically, like looking at the screen, like I'm not going to see much, but I am actually jump spotting this. And so what I want you to do when you jump spot is I want you to look at the minimap, because you're not shooting anyway, so you don't really need to look at the screen. But the minimap gives you way more info, because it's going to give you a question mark if you see someone, and then you don't see, then you like lose vision of them. It'll give you a little red question mark. And even if you're looking at the map, like if you look at the map completely, you'll see who it is as well. So it's like the best thing to do when you're jump spotting is to jiggle the mouse and look at the minimap. And then it's like the best way to jump spot. And Neon used to be unkillable, basically, more or less, with this, with how fast it was. It was disgusting how broken that was. And you can do it normal speed as well. This is definitely hard to kill as well, just by doing jump spotting like this. This is also really hard to kill. So yeah, you just see them on minimap, yeah, exactly. You can just see them on the minimap, and you also get the red question mark as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. The also other thing as well is the movement and duel. So let's go into that. I'm not gonna do like any aim drill type stuff because I feel like you already kind of know what that looks like. So I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. This is like, oh, why did I just go on the range? Am I stupid? Autopilot. Autopiloted on my hands. I was thinking in my brain and mouth what I was gonna say. So my hands just stopped working properly. Whoops. But yeah, basically what I want to do in the DM is actually, it is an aim drill that I'm probably gonna do, but it's not really for that purpose. To be honest, it's kind of like it is kind of like the aim drill that I was gonna. I think it's kind of similar to the one Weehoo Jin does in his gunfight hygiene video. It's been a long time since I watched that video, but it's very similar. I think the one I also say to do. Where you kind of just like when you take fights, it's more about when you actually take fights on his video, but mine is also about crosshair placement. But I won't talk about that stuff, because the crosshair placement stuff, because I felt like it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Your crosshair placement was completely fine. There were just some times where you like pre-aiming stuff too early, or maybe you're a bit off with head height. So maybe it is worth actually doing this type of thing. I'll go over the full drill mines as well. Might as well do the full drill. Okay, so when you're in the DM, what you want to do is you want to like pick a corner, and then you want to like hover the corner. You see I'm like away from the corner, and then I'm like doing this. What? When I see someone, I'll talk about it. But like when you actually fight, but like I'm gonna pick a corner and hover away from it like this, and then when I get a new angle, I want to be swinging the angle. So I'll be able to demonstrate it here probably, and someone shoot me in the back. But, okay, so I can do it like this, hover the angle. I've got another angle here. I'm gonna swing it. I got shot in the back, as I thought I would. But yeah, that's basically what the general premise is. If you go into a fight with someone, oh my god, please. Go into a fight with someone, I want you to counter strafe. So like this, basically. That's what I want you to do against the player, basically. And it should hopefully look like pretty clean on the shooting error graph. So you know, none of this or like this. You know what I mean? And in terms of like movement while dueling, this should help, right? Because generally you want all the aim. So I don't want you to like stand still and like aim like this, right? I don't want you to do that, right? But you're like standing still trying to aim at them. It's all about aiming during the movement. So I'm going to aim during the movement. He shot me too quickly. He body shot me, so he slowed me. That happens a lot in DM. It's all about just trying to get what you want out of DM. Because the enemy team, like the enemies are going to get what they want out of DM, sure. But like you're going to get what you want out of DM. So don't worry about if they, like, you know, if they kill you very fast or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Also, don't get your knife out during DM. That's also a really bad habit I have. So don't do that. But yeah, you got to get the gist. Basically, what you want to do is only aim when you're moving. You don't really want to be aiming when you're standing still. And if you miss, you miss. It is what it is. But you can do micro adjustments when you're standing still. Yeah, I tried doing that, and I swear I shoot so well in deathmatch, and it doesn't translate. Okay, so yeah, that's the other thing. So that's like mindset, right? That's like having the pressure and things. Let me actually get that video. That's going to be definitely useful. And that should be the last thing. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get it. It should be on my videos. See, it's my video. I just need to find it. I just need to find it. I don't remember when I uploaded it either. I can't remember. I think it should have mindset or the mindset in it. I know what the thumbnail looks like. So maybe I should just scroll. Excuse me again, sorry. Maybe I should just scroll down and see if I see the thumbnail. It was definitely after this video. Oh, I found it. How to stop panicking in Valorant. There you go. Found it. It's this video. I'm going to put it in chat. I'm also going to put it on Discord, actually. Put it in Discord for you. Boom. Okay, so this video, I kind of go over a lot of the, like, the general thing with panicking. And, like, kind of how to stop panicking. Like, how to get over, like, some things like fear of loss. What the fix of that is. And then how to practice it. So that's what I go over in this video. So I'd recommend watching this video because it's a lot like comprehensive, basically. But the general gist is if you fear the loss, then you're going to be very anxious about getting even individual kills in the game. And the fix I have is to try and devalue your rank and like disassociate from rank and put more value on improvement. Essentially what I say in the video. I can't quite remember what the actual how I said the practice it is, because there's definitely multiple ways to practice. I think I go with the trigger. So I go with trigger here. So what that means is if you want calm aiming ranked, or like if you want to be like less panicked in ranked, then it's about triggering the practice you had in DM, or triggering the practice you had when you were like when you were like practicing right in DM or range, whatever, by essentially locking in, like triggering your concentration. And that can be anything, right? It can be something like even something like saying something. Like you can just literally say like a word and get it to like try and like when I said this word, I have to lock in for like X amount to vote for this round, basically that kind of thing, right? You can like try and find like triggers that help you lock in to the game. That's different for everyone though, so it's like pretty difficult to like say which one, what would work for you. I need to watch that. It's like in DM I just swing no fear. Yeah, that's what it is basically. It's like just trying to make it feel like you're in a DM when you're actually in ranked games. Yeah, that's basically what it goes over. Okay, I think that's it for the coaching session. Let me know if you've got any questions and things as well. I can answer them now as well. If you have any questions about the whole thing or just general questions as well. I'm also obviously, if you don't have any now, then I can also you can also just message me anytime anyway. I'm active on Discord, and I'll usually get back to you over time if I'm busy. So yeah, you can freely message me on Discord as well if you have any questions on that. Any questions you can't think of now. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop streaming on YouTube.